What is this? Whoa. ወይኔ ይሄ በክብር ነው እንዲተነስተን የሚቀባበለው okay wow thank you so much man fresh cameraman እንግዲህ ችግር ይፈጥራል so you ready let's start
yeah good
yeah what's good YouTube በሌላ ቪዲዮ መተናል episode 2 of the software guy podcast ዛሬ የትም ያልታየ 00 አዲስ እንግዳ ይዘን መተናል
00
ያ የዛሬው ኤፒሶዳችን ነው ከሜጀር ጀነራል ጆን ከጆን ጋር ነው የሚሆነው ዛሬ እንግዲህ ብርድ ልብስ ምናምን አምጥተን እንዴት ነው እዚህ ልናደር እንችላለን ነው የሚገራርም ቶፒክ
ነው ይደውላል
ችግር የለውም አስፈቀዳለን የዛሬው ኤፒሶዳችን በጣም ፐርፌክት ነው የሚሆነው ነገር ግን ኤፒሶዳችንን ከመጀመራችን በፊት ስፖንሰሮቻችን አሉ ሳናስበው ስፖንሰሮቻችን እየበዙ ነው እንደቀል የመጀመሪያው ስፖንሰራችን ሃርላ ስፔሻሊቲ ክሊኒክ ነው ይሄን የመሰለ ስቱዲዮም አዘጋጅቶልን አመቻችቶልን ሁሉ ነገር ፕሮቫይድ ያደርገልን ፕላቲኒየም ስፖንሰራችን ሃርላ ነው ሃርላ በመሃል ቤተል አፍራንታው ሁለተኛ ፍሎር ላይ የሚገኝ ስፔሻሊቲ ክሊኒክ ነው እጅግ በጣም ፕሮፌሽናል ሆነ ወይ በጣም በአፎርደብል ሆነ ወይ ሰርቪስ የሚሰጥ በጣም ጸድ በቃ ነው ፈገግታችሁ መልሱ ያላችሁ እና ሃርላ የመጀመሪያ ስፖንሰራችን ነው ሁለተኛ ስፖንሰራችን ደግሞ አሃዱ ማርኬት ይባላሉ የተለያዩ ኦንላይን እቃዎችን ኤሌክትሮኒክስ ሞስትሊ ስፔሻሊ ላፕቶፕስ ኤንድ ሞባይል ምናምን ኦርደር ማድረግ ስትፈልጉ ከሌላው የሚለያቸው እነሱ ጀስት ራሳችሁ ናችሁ ከመፈልጉት ከኦፊሻል ስቶር ሊሆን ይችላል ከኤኒ ካይንድ ኦፍ ፕሌስ ራሳችሁ ሊንኩን ትልካላችሁ እነሱ የሺፒንግ ኮስት ብቻ ነው የሚያስከፍሏችሁ ያመጡላችኋል እኔ የመሰለሽ ማክቡክ ከመርካቱ በማይመጣ ስፒድ ነው ከአሜሪካ አስመጡልኝ እና ሁለተኛ ስፖንሰሮቻችንን በጣም እናመሰግናለን ስለዚህ ወደ እንግዳችን እንሄዳለን እዚህ ጋር ርክክብ ሳናረግ እንግዳችን በጣም አንቦክስ መደረግ አለበት አንቦክስ ካዴሚ በቃ ሙቀጫ ስቱዲዮስ የሚገርም ጊፍት ሰጥተናል በጣም ነው የምናመሰግነው የመጀመሪያው ጊፍታችን ሁለተኛው ገስት የሚገርም ጊፍት ወይኔ ከዚህ በኋላ እንግዲህ ገስቶች በጊፍት ነው ያመጣው በጣም አመሰግናለሁ ጆን እንኳን በሰላም መጣ አክብረን ድረስ ስለተገኘ እጅግ በጣም ነው የማመሰግነው የዛሬው ኤፒሶዳችን ካንተ ጋር በጣም ኦፍስ መብራት ተመልሶ መጣ ረብራት ኤኒዌይስ ይቀጥል ኢንትሮዳክሽን ላይ ያለ ነው አለ
ዩገንዛሩ ቴክኒካል እንደውም ኤዲቲንግ ላይ ጨምሮ ላይክ ማውራት ጀምረን ነው
even like behind the scene እንደውም ሞር እንደንጨዋታ አድርጎናል ሶ እንጀምር ከኢንትሮዳክሽን ነው እንጀምረው who is Major John why are you called Major John and more introduction part
Major John is a gamer tag
okay
so I've had a lot of gamer tags over the years I think that's honestly I don't remember like Saint Walker Blackfire no I just try to make it cool the gamer tags is birthday ነገር ከዛ ግን like Major John just felt like
በጣም
normal ነገር like you know like I was like sort of same አለበት ነገር ፕላስ ደግሞ ሜጀርስ it's like a sort of a rank ታቱ ሃይት ናት ብሎ በቃ
ስፔሻል ጌመር ስቶር ራንክ ማተር ያደርጋል
yeah plus no like COD ነበር የምጫወተው አይነት ነገር ከዛ በፊት ኦቨርሎድ ነበር ስሜ which was inspired by there's this guy COD Modern Warfare 3 ላይ የሆነ ልክ ሚሽን ጀምራለሁ ካቲናል አይደል ሚሽን ኤክስፕሌን የሚያደርግ overload is like the general you're talking to
okay overload ማለት
Yohannes Fikru Temam
okay so like what do you do Yohannes
I try to live
game
I play games I play a lot of games
for a living
I don't play a lot of games actually ከድሮ አንፃር ነው ብዙ አልጫወትም እውነት ለመናገር so by profession one of my professions I'm a tech recruiter for an international recruitment company
okay I didn't know that
yeah we'll talk about it. ከዛ ግን ደግሞ it's like I've also been in the game industry ከዛ በፊት I've also worked as like a Unity 3D developer, game developer for a while. I've also done a lot of like here and there. I try to do like strategy. There's another company I work at, and then there's also Muqecha where like we try to make socially conscious games. Games like Lomi and like, our upcoming games. That's basically what I do. Yeah.
So basically, just people think like game developers ምናምን ሲባሉ መቀን ሙሉ ጌም መቀን ሙሉ መቀጥቀጥ አይነት ነገር አድርጎ የሚያስቡ አይነት ሰዎች
if you're a play tester maybe
ግን like in general what do game developers do?
So it's a pretty broad term. So it's like game dev itself. It's ሁሉም ነገር ጠቅላላ እያወራ ያለው so like so like game development is broken down into several professions. So I think everyone naturally ይመጣለት especially for like this type of audience is like the coding part. So you use a game engine, Unreal 3D, Godot, banana ነገር, you code the game, you make it live, you make it work, right? Part of the game. Because the other part of the game is art, which is like all the visuals you see, someone has to make it. Either ሌላ ሲሰራውን ዳውን አድርገን ነው የምትጠቀመው or የራስን ትሰራለህ። So that's like the game art part. ከዛ ግን just because and then there is also other elements like there's sound and there's UI there might be story አለ ምናምን ነገር ከዛ ግን the thing that holds everything together is called game design. It's not like graphic design. Graphics is more visual. Game design is it's the sauce, it's the element where like game እንዴት ነው የሚሄደው, what kind of mechanics does it have, what kind of game is it, like blue like ያለን ዲዛይን የሚያወጣው ሰው ነው ማለት ነው. For example, you can like take a very popular game on Clash of Clans. So Clash of Clans is like design ስታወጣለት it's like so it's a multiplayer. Every player has a base. ከዛ ያ ቤዝ ላይ ያሉት የሆነ like ካራክተሮች ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ, ኤሌመንቶች ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ ነገር right. ከዛ የነሱን ካራክተሮች ዲፋይን ማድረግ, what kind of power do they have የሚለውን ዲፋይን ማድረግ, how do they interact, ከዛ ደግሞ what can players do, what can they cannot do, how does the in-game economy work ምናምን ነገር ያ that design has to be written down, tested, prototype ምናምን ነገር ማለት ነው.
ከዛ ዴቨሎፕ የሚደረገው
yes. So it's like if you're like a developer, you could write the code, then it's like የሆነ በራስ ተጨርጨረ አይዲያ አምጥተህ ብትሰራ technically you're also doing game design. It's not just game like coding, right? Like game design is like the base. You can think of it like a director role or like a writer role on a movie, or like that's what's going to do things, or like the VFX and the lighting and the acting, the direction, so that's where it originates from. So እንደዛ አድርገህ በተለማይ ይችላል. but yeah ብዙ ስለሌለን እዚህ ሀገር ውስጥ like ምንም ጫፍቀን አንድ ላይ እንደዚህ ያደረገን እንደምንሰራ
it's በጣም hard to be honest. You can build software now. Game መስራት የሆነ level of creativity ይፈልጋል.
Of course. And the thing that makes making games like difficult is all I can give you an example of like a calculator. ጠዋት ከእንቅልፍ ተነስተህ ቁጥር ናፍቆ ያውቃል? ቁጥር ናፍቆ ካልኩሌተር ከፍተህ ታጠቅማለህ? even better, right? ካልኩሌተር ግን ብትጠቀም is like if you're like ከጓደኞች ጋር አበልተህ ሂሳብ ስታካፍል ካልኩሌተር ታጠቅማለህ. So calculator has a function. It will always be here. Because it's functional. It's like it has a purpose.
Yeah.
A game has to be fun, or it has to talk to you, or it has to make you feel something. So just because you can run and shoot, it doesn't make it a good game. There's 1,000 games that you can run and shoot at.
Exactly.
Call of Duty is different because it has its own like appeal to like a specific demographic, right? Because that's like like ep2 like in shooter genre, but all the big games like they're very similar in certain ways and they're different in other ways. So that part is what makes it difficult. You have to understand like player psychology of like what motivates players, what kind of players are there. You don't make the same game for me as you would make a game maybe for you.
Yeah.
You like Clash of Clans, so your taste in games are like different from me, so that's like player psychology. Understand why you know that.
Wow, that's great. Very good room to satisfy.
Yeah, no, and then no, it's to be liked by everyone is to be liked by no one.
exactly.
ገባህ
Well
አይደለ?
said.
Or like I don't know, it's like I think that's a bad example. Maybe it's like if you're friends, I think the actual quote is if you're friends with everyone, even though you're not friends with anyone. And like it's sort of like that. You're like you can have different games for different types of players. About it. Again, it's like you don't want to go too niche too. Like, but I'm niche more than what's funny. But then you have like 100 players and that's it. Just like it's cool again, it's not going to sustain the game, right? So you have to be niche enough to hit a certain demographic, but broad enough that I think you can like maybe cross pollinate with other demographics as well. And that niche is also big enough to sustain revenue for uh, like the game development.
Right. That's pretty much without the explanation. So
Alright.
next to the introduction, let's go ወደ አንተ በደንብ እንሂድ። ብዙ ነገር ዲስከቨር ልናደርግ ነው። So let's start from your childhood. Definitely you are በጣም ጥቂት one of the few people I know ጌም ዴቨሎፕመንት ላይ የሚሰሩ ለረጅም ዓመት ኢንፋክት ላይክ AI ከመጣ በኋላ በቅርብ ጊዜ አይደለም I know you like 5 years ago ምናምን ነገር even ያኔ ራሱ you were one of the best people I know ጌም ዴቨሎፕ ያደረጉና I think there is someone behind that like ከቻይልድ ጀምሮ በጣም ጸዴ ስቶሪ እንዳለና let's start from your childhood stuff.
Okay, that's where do you want like so
where were you born?
እዚህ አዲስ አበባ ተወልጄ ያደግኩት።
Okay.
I was a baby, so I was like I don't remember obviously. ግን
ኢንትረስቱ ለጌም የነበረ ከልጅነት ነው ምናምን?
That's really. It's like man, I loved games, and I was like I also loved movies. I loved anything that's like occupies me, or it's like that sense of story and discovery and everything. Which again is like it was interesting. It was like the conversation said it was I was naturally drawn to like science stuff. And not usually it was like I knew what I wanted to be and I didn't know what I wanted to be like 100%. Because we like ሁለተኛ ክፍል ነበርኩ መጀመሪያ ላይ like ምን ምን ትፈልጋለህ ራስ ነው የምፈልገው ከዛ ቀረኒ ሲያሸነፈ and that was good like እንደዚህ ወፍራም አልነበርኩም so like አባሮች ላይ አሪፍ ነበርኩ
ግቢ ራሱ አሪፍ I saw like some photos
like አባሮች ነው በቃ like that was my dream because I think I discovered space like outer space science astronaut and then I became obsessed with sky school that's the one thing I wanted to be so and in my mind the building blocks ስለዛ የነበረው like math physics science it's like naturally I just like loved that stuff right ነገር ማለት ነው ከዛ I think that there was this program I don't remember the name then የሆነ ልጆችን አወዳድረው ከዛ ናሳ ሄዶ ይጎበኛሉ ምናምን like types ነበርና የሆነ second batch ላይ ገብቼ I didn't attend the training because I almost made it to the second round and that's like I discovered the second round is like some electronics or something like that which would have been good for me because like I think something for moment to get available for like in my spare time father somewhere and then like I would have killed it so it's like that's like my dream it didn't happen I was like depressed for 2 weeks and then what darling I was like I still love space science I'm like
yeah what
it's like just a couple of nights of crying and then it's like okay I'm done I didn't happen yeah I don't know it's like it was interesting because I started like exploring other interests and reading a bunch of books especially there was this one I think like for semester break like like alነበረም for like a week no like a couple of weeks and by that point I'm like I'm addicted to shows like dish with no mind and ነገር but that's በቃ but ከዛ ደግሞ like በጣም ኢመርሲንግ ስለማየው I'm there it was like I remember a lot of shows I watched when I was a kid also I was bored out of my mind ከዛ የፋዘር መጽሐፍ ያለበት ሼልፍ አለና I just picked up a book started reading and then okay it's like like at that point it became 50-50 of like መጽሐፎችን ትምህርት ይዣቸው ይላሉ
ምን አይነት መጽሐፎች ነበሩ
so honestly the first book I read is a book called Blink by Malcolm Gladwell so Blink is the best explanation I would give for Blink I think tagline also says the power of thinking without thinking where it's how a lot of like I want to say the $10,000 rule sort of comes from that book I think no, it comes from Outliers and it's also implied in Blink Outliers is also a book by Malcolm Gladwell where Blink it explores stories of like በጣም ኤክስፐርት የሆኑ ሰዎች like split second judgment create ያደርጋሉ it could be like tennis coaches or museum curators or journalists and how that works when it works how well does it work when it goes wrong ደግሞ how wrong does it go የሚለውን explore ያደርጋል ነገር and then I became hooked to like I read all of his books I like there was a bunch of other books I also read no just natural curiosity I think it's like over like development I think my dad also like በደንብ encourage ያደረገኝ
በጣም supportive family ነበረ
yeah I was like there was enough books to keep me occupied አንብቤ አልጨረሳቸውም I think like by the time I was done የቀሩኝ መጽሐፎች was like ይሄንን የሚያካክል ኒውትሪሽን መጽሐፎች ነበሩ I'm not reading them I was like ዶክተር ረቢያረቡስ ወጣቸው መጽሐፎች ነበሩ ግን እንትን ነው it was interesting enough because I can also like talk about it ከፋዘር ጋር ለሱ ብሎ ያስመጣቸው መጽሐፎች ነው የታነባቸው የነበረው so technically speaking ማለት ነው I think that coupled with like my interest in science I also used to do like a lot of extracurricular activities especially cancer ሁለተኛ ሶስተኛ ክፍል ጀምሮ like mini media ክለብ ተማሪ ተወካይ ምናምን for some reason ያለቀ ክላስ አለቃም አርጎ የሚሾም እንግዲህ ነው
ረባይስ ምናምን ጽፏል
አልጽፈም like ይረብሻሉ እንደፈለጉ አለቃ ኮንኩኝ እኔ ለራሴ ይረብሻል
በቃ እንደፈለጉ
ከዛ ግን እንትን ነው አስተማሪ መቶ ሲቆጣም ነው ማን ነው አለቃ ዮሐንስ ይላሉ ነው ከዛ እጅ አስተማሪ አናግረዋለሁ ምናምን ይቆጣኛል አዘረጋጋቸው
ዋው
ከዛ ግን በቃ እንትን ነው that's like extracurricular activity like natural interest ነገር I think ያለ ሄደ I really did not know ምን መግባት እፈልግ እንደነበር እውነቱን ለመናገር I considered architecture for example because I think I used to draw ከድሮም ሰባተኛ ክፍል especially when we moved a lot when I was a kid I think አንድ አራት አምስት moved there was a time like እንትን ብያለሁ like I was sort of addicted to shows ብያለሁ ነበር ከዛ like አንድ 6 ወር ምናምን ቢሾል ተገጠመ ነበር ማለት ነው all I could do to entertain myself is all the sci-fi shit I saw like in the movies እነሱ if they were real what would they look like ቢዝ ነው ቁጭ ብዬ እስኪ ያረጋቸው ነበር ማለት ነው ከዛ ልክ ቲዲ አፍረናኝ ክፍል ሰማርና ነገር በቃ I used to do that shit like ሰባተኛ ክፍል just informal ስለነበር right so it's like I was sort of good at TV I was very good at TV so አርክ ምናምን ነገር ኮንሲደር አድርገኝ ከዛ I think አስቱ ነበር የገባሁት ያዳማው ውስጥ ማለት ነው
ያዳማው
እና I didn't know about it like in the first place መጀመሪያ ላይ just like ማትሪክ 12ኛ ጨርሰን ሀገር ሰላም ብዬ ከቤት ወጥቼ ፋዘር ስራ ቦታ ላይ ማለት ነገር አንደኛው ልጅ አገኘትና እንዴ ነው ሰላም ነው ምን ያረክለው እያጠናው ነው ማለት ጨረሰን እኮ ለምን ተጠራ አይ አዳማ ፈተና አለ ማለት ፈተና አለ እኮ አታውቅም ነው ብሎ ነገር ማለት
በፈተና ነበር አዲስ አበባና አዳማ የሚገባው
ከዛም ላይ ኩል ኦኬ ብራም ማታ 2 ሰዓት ላይ ኢንተርኔት በገባውና ሬጅስተር አደረኩ ለሊትር I could you not that's like the last day for registration የነበረው ይዛን ቀን ነበር 2 ሰዓት ላይ ሬጅስተር አደረኩኝ I called and told my friend ከዛ 2 ተኩል ነው 3 ሰዓት ላይ ሬጅስተር ያደረጉ ሲገቡ ተዘግቷል ሬጅስትሬሽን that year was the second year በፈተና ሲያስገባት ዩኒቨርሲቲ ማለት እና ከኛ ፊት የነበሩት በወረቀት ነበር የፈተናቸው ከዛ እኛን በዲጂታል በኮምፒውተር ነው ፈተን ብለው ለመፈተን ስንሄድ ስም ያልነበረም ወረቀት ላይ ታኪውስ like 5 ኪሎ 6 ኪሎ 4 ኪሎ ቼክ አድርኩኝ ስም ያልነበረም አሁን ላይ በቃ ተናደርኩኝ ምናምን ተጣዝኩ ከዛ there was some space science event ነው ነገር በቃ just go and attend there ምናምን ማተደው ይስጠኝ ከዛ ግን like the two reasons I didn't is like አንድ በቃ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ካይቀር ከከተማ ወጣ ያለ ነገር
ራቅ ብለህ ሲሆን
ከዛ ግን ደግሞ አዳማዝ ላይ close enough that like if something happens or if you need something ከቤት or ምናምን ነገር literally it's like an hour and a half ነው የሚፈጅብህ ከአዳማ ቤት ለመግባት ማለት ነው so it's like it was very good plus ደግሞ እንትን ነው friend of a friend ነገር እዛ የምትማር ልጅ አስተዋወቁኝና ነገረችኝ ዲፈረንስ ላይ ነገር ቂሊንጦ አጠራሷ ነበር አሁን አሪፍ ነው
ሱማ ስቲል ኮና መጣጥር የለውም
I know ግን እንትን ነው የዘግይት ትንሽ ላይ የሰገረችኝ ስቶሪ ተስተሩኝና ማለት አርፍ ያደማለች like it's safe it's like
ቪዚት ለመደረግ ቅርብ ነው
አራሽ ግሬድ አሁን literally I could you know አሁን ራሱ ቂሊንጦ ሲራና ዩኒቨርሲቲ ኤቨንት ነገር ነው ማለት it's so far ሄደ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ጋር ተረሰናል አንድ 25 ደቂቃ ብትሄድ አዳማ ትገባለህ literally እዛችሁ ጋር literally ይኸው ለመጥሽ እንዴት ነው አዲስ አበባ ትላለህ
I was there like fresh year ምናምን እዛ ነበርኩና በቃ ይሄ የግቢው ትልቅነት ለነሱም ከብዷቸዋልና አጥር በቃ አጥር የሌለውላ አሁን በጣም ቤስት ነው። ያኔ በጣም ብዙ ኮንስትራክሽን ነበረ፣ ብዙ ኤምቲ
አሁን እያለቀ ነው
ጫካው ብዛቱ ምናምን like as to the best thing that at that time was the students በጣም ጸድቀት ዳግሞ ይባቢ አንገመችስ ፕሮፖራንት ቴክኖሎጂ ምናምን ነበር ነው የገባው ጊዜና ኮሚኒቲ በጣም ጸድ ነበር። ያን ብለህ ነው እንጂ it was way scary
አሁን የሚያስፈራው
በጣም
but I don't know, it's like give you nice because again I don't know, it's a wake up call because ፈለጣ ነው every department ፈለጣ ነው አርክም ፈለጣ ነው ሁሉም በተራ ነው የሆነ ፍሬሽ ላይ introduction to computing ምናምን ብለው ፓይተን አስተማሩን ማለት ነው like interesting I've never tried to code ever I was good with computers now then code ሞክሬ አላውቅም ነበር like this was interesting now but second semester ላይ C++ አስተማሩን more interesting like more ገባኝ ነገር ማለት ነው ከዛ ዲፓርትመንት እንዳለ ሳይቶ like every የሆነ ዝገት ነው ፈለጣ ነው እንዳለ አርክ መግባት ከፈለክ ደግሞ ስኩል ኦፍ ሲቪል ገብታ አንድ ሴሚስተር ተምረህ ከዛ ተፈተነ ነው አርክ መገባ አርክ ፈተና ከወደቅ ሲቪል ነው የሚከተው ሲቪል ደግሞ አራተኛ ክፍል ያለው ነው ሲቪል አልገባም ማለት ሲቪል ብለህ ሰቀም ይሄ ነው ዊዝ ነው አሰር ማለት ቀጥ ይወጣል በቃ አልመለስም
ምንት እኮ
ስለዚህ በቃ እንደ የሆነ the only option I had was like CSC ነበር በቃ አንድ ዳርክ ሴሚስተር አለች ማለት ነው እሷ እንደምንም ተታለፍና የሆነ አፕላይ ትሪቢያ የነበረበት በቃ ሴሲ ገባር ማለት ነው
እንትን ነው እዛ ደግሞ ሶፍትዌር አልነበረም አዳማ
አሁን አለ እኔ ስመረቅ ሶፍትዌር ጀመሩ
ኦኬ እኔ ደግሞ እንትን አልኩት አዲስ አበባ ሶፍትዌር አለ ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ የለም እዛ ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ አለ ሶፍትዌር የለም
ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ ራሱ አለ like computer science and engineering CS software engineering computer engineering ቀላቅለው ምናምን ሃርድዌር ኮርስ አለው አለቀም like ኤሌክትሪክ ከሆነ አልወስዶ በጣም የሚፈለጉ ፊልዶች ሶፍትዌር እና አርክ ነው በጣም ሁለቱም ግቢ ላይ ወይ ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ እና አርክ ምናምን ነገር ነው ከዛ የሚራገፈው ሁሉ ወይ ኤሌክትሪካል ወይ ሲቪል ነው ኮሚኒኬሽን ይገባል ሜካኒካል ይገባል
ፉድ ኢንጂነሪንግ ይገባል መጨረሻው
ዋተር ኢንጂነሪንግ ነበር
ኦኬ ፉድ
ስለዚህ ይባላል ማለት ህይወታቸው ከባድ ነው
ስለዚህ ፉድ ኢንጂነሪንግ ላይ ፋይናል ላይ መስር ወጥ ከትከት ከሰው ጋር እንዳያጋጭ
ፉድ ኢንጂነሪንግ የተማረው ሰው መጥቶ ፖይዝን ቢያደርግ ምንም ማድረግ አይችልም ምንም በጣም የሚቀጣ
ነው በቃ that's interesting so እና ጌም ዴቨሎፕመንት ምናምን ለጌም ድሪቨን ነው ከግቢ ከገባህ በኋላ ምናምን ነው
so it's like we had a club safety ማለት ነበርና እዛ ውስጥ I think ገባሽ ነው as like there was a guy I knew so we were like friendly man እና in games test አድርገን ነው
ቢልድ ያደረገው
I don't know መጀመሪያ ላይ እሱ ቢልድ እንዳደረገው that's like I tested it ምናምን ነገር it's like an asteroid replica ነገር ነበር ክሎን ነገር ነበርና that's like I told them I was like it's really nice like there's a bug a little bit እዚህ ጋር ትንሽ አስቸጋሪ ነው ነገር ቢኮምፒውተር okay I'll fix it what do you mean you'll fix it like I mean the game you can do that what do you mean at that point C++ ብቻ ነበር ማለት ነው like data structure and algorithm ብቻ ነበር ማለት ነው ነገር ማለት ከዛ at that point I became interested ከዛ yeah I was just like research online there's Unity and Unreal ምናምን ነገር Unreal ሳወርዶ ዴስክቶፕ ሊፈረዳ ነበር አንስታል አደረኩትና Unity Unity ቀጠልኩ ማለት ነው and then I think third year ያለን there was a game jam so it's like a game jam is sort of like in the hackathon no it goes on for 48 hours it can be like a competition or not a competition
without no sleep
I mean if you choose to be it's like hackathon አይደለ where you like we meet up arb ላይ and then you try to like የሆነ ቲም ይሰጣል like the hackathon is like it's actually target game jam ላይ sort of team ይሰጣል ለምሳሌ it's like if the team is like football ከሆነ football የሚለውን ቲም you can like interpret it ለምሳሌ or connected ከሆነ you can make a game about two connected characters or you can make a game of two connected houses or you can make a game of like connected የሚለውን spelling ወስደ you can interpret it in like whatever way you want not the whole point of the game jam is to try to make a complete prototype of a game that's going to be polished especially when you start out then it's like at least make a playable game out of that theme in 48 hours yeah the standard is 48 hours like you አንድ ሳምንት ላይ ይደረጋል depends እና we saw another game jam ከጓደኞች ጋር ሳይና ባረግን ሄደን and that was interesting I was already trying to do a couple of stuff by Unity ከሰንከት ጀምሮ to start doing that I didn't know people like did Unity development for like interested ሰዎች ያውቁ ነበር ማለት ነው. That's how I discovered that game dev community. And then it's like I think I've only missed like one or two game jams ከዛ በኋላ we've been and doing Karakuana, I've been to and helped organize የተወሰኑትን over like 23-24 game jams in like span of 4 or 5 years. Wow. And that's like yeah. It's like especially what I hear is like it's really bonkers. And most of my knowledge is like it's either like online research or YouTube or something. Because I was like professionally experimenting with a time number because I don't know. Then a lot of the new stuff I found.
Game stuff
Yeah, I was a Unity developer.
Wow, that's insane. So what was the most horrible የሚባል ጌም መጀመሪያ የሰራው? በጣም ቦሪንግ ሆሪብል ነገርና what is the best ነገር መጀመሪያ በቃ more interesting ያደረገው?
I was so I have a lot of game jam games ያላለቁ like ገራሚ አይዲያ ይኖራል
unfinished projects አይነት ነገር
I like execution የሆነ ያህል ይሄዳል ከዛስ like እስከ ቅዳሜ ከሰዓት ድረስ is like everything is going well ከዛ እሑድ ጠዋት ላይ something goes wrong and then it doesn't get done በቃ ያልቀም ማለት ነው. The first game jam game we made is like it was I think Lost. It was a game called Lost. It's online now. It's a global game jam website that you can still download and play. It's a platformer game where like so you play as three characters like a bot and not they're sort of camping ሄደው like ይጠፋፋሉ ነገር ነው. You try to find their way back home ነገር ሽት ነው. The story is like አሪፍ ኦራ እየሰጠው ነው እንጂ the game looks weird. Good. The main concept of the game was like every character like the dad has like a certain ability, the mother has a certain ability, the kid has a certain ability. Wow. የነሱ የሚጫወቱበት ሌቭል ተጠቅመ ፕላትፎርመር እየተጫወተ ያለ ነገር you can solve like the puzzle and like pass the level and ነበር. It was functional, it was playable. It's like that much was clear. I think that's like the first complete ያረኩት prototype idea. Okay. ከዛ ያው መሀል ላይ ብዙ unfinished games.
Okay.
Good, yeah. And then it's pretty interesting.
Nice. So let's come to the Ethiopian problem of game and stuff.
Okay.
Like why do Ethiopians think like game is for children? ለልጆች ነው በቃ game ምናምን ብሎ ለምን የሚያስቡ like weird ነገር?
It's not just Ethiopia, it's like largely speaking, it's more of a cultural thing, where and so እንትን ነው የተለያዩ ነገሮች አሉ. So like the word game ራሱ እዚህ ሲመጣ attached with the board games or video games አይደል? ከዛ ግን like game is ጨዋታ አይደል? So like ቅድም ስለሆነ ኳስም ጨዋታ ነው ብይም ትጫወታለህ ከዛ ስታድግ ደግሞ ሌሎች ጌሞችም ትጫወታለህ አይደል? like ፑልም ጨዋታ ነው like there's a lot of games. So እነሱ ክላሲፊኬሽኖች አሉ እና people think I think at least የሆነ ያህል ለችልድረን የሚሰሩ ጌሞች ነው ጌም ሲባል ጭንቅላታቸው ላይ ይመጣል. That's part of it. ከዛ ግን the other part of it ደግሞ it's like it's also cultural where it's like it's a cultural relegation or like classification አይነት ነገር ነው ብዬ ማስባለሁ. ከዚህ እንትን ነው የሆነ you can't blame certain generation አዲስ ቴክኖሎጂ ሲመጣ or ደግሞ አዲስ for certain things or ለምሳሌ I still like I feel old. It's like for some things I'm young, it's like when I see some stuff online, no, like pass. And I feel like that's what they feel. But there is a concept they have in their head of like what having fun is now and then it's like we're like ያንን ስንጫወት ነው ነገር
fun ነገር ሁሉ
that's for kids ነገር ነው ያ plus ደግሞ ያው እንትን ነው the amount of time you spend on it it's like it also matters. Good, it's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of purpose matter ያደርጋል. Because like you play games to entertain yourself, sometimes to escape, which is fine. Because again, the problem comes when you overdo it, right? And it's easy to overdo games, especially when they're very addictive. Can't be stressful.
Yeah.
Good, and so no, it's we hope sometimes. Usually it's like we hope it's temporary. It's like you grow out of it. You're point like it's a phase you pass. When you start an age, you're not ነገር ማለት ነው.
By the way, እኔ ድሮ ማለት ነው በጣም ጌም ወድ ነበርና አይስ ወይ ምን እንደማስብ ታውቃለህ? ሳድግ ግን ይሄን ነገር መጥላት አልፈልግም እንደዛልክ ሰዎች ጌም እጠላለሁ ግን የምር እና I promised to myself ባድግ ራሱ ጫወታለሁ አልተውም እንደሌላሱ አልጠላም እና በጣም ወዳለው ግን ያ የድሮ እንትኑ የለም
and then no you sort of about to do it like as a concept of the demographics right it's like now you're a different demographic so probably you would like a different type of game
but I still don't hate it this way ነገር
yeah and then at least you've grown up enough to understand the concept of moderation ገባረለ እና እንትን ነው usually ደግሞ እንትን የሆነ ላንተም የሆነ ጌም ስታገኝ it's like there is that tendency of getting addicted and not everyone is the same type it's not just demographics okay so on sorry there is like a discovering about game archetype one where like on Minecraft or No Man's Sky and ነገር or like to some extent GTA also like it's an open world you can do whatever you want so it's like real life የሆነ ነገሮች ላይ ዲስከቨር ታደርጋለህ you try to build something ነገር so that's like discovering አይነት archetype but there's like a socializing archetype where like they're playing the game because they want to hang out with their friends to play the game so ጓደኞቹ ጋር ሄደ ፑል ቤት ሄዳ ፑል መጫወት ፈልጋ አይደለም ጓደኞቹ ጋር ሆነ መሆን ፈልጋ right ከዛ ደግሞ was the third like some of the I think my mentor my first was like I'm going to get frosted by forget this tomorrow's job again so the third archetype I feel like is
forgive him somehow you can target it
so the third archetype is like the person that chases scoring and it's like you have a high score or like people have a high score and then you try to beat your high score and for like on geometry dash ተጫውተው የምታውቀው ከሆነ
I know
very difficult because again the type of feeling that game induces in you is like you like level 1 mahal ላይ ኮኔ ፎርሽው in your mind the automatic goal is not just passing the level it's like at least you have to do better than the last point የፎርሽው ነገር ማለት ነው so that's like የራስን ቢት ማድረግ ወይ ስኮር ማድረግ ነገር አለ and then the fourth is like the killing archetype ይባላል where like multiplayer game you want to win you want to win over other like so it's like it's funny because like it sounds aggressive sometimes it gets aggressive like a lot of games I love is like like chess or COD or Apex or Rocket League it's like the game mechanic is beautiful and I love that and then I also get to play with like real people and that's like compete on like that competition is also engagement right so usually it's like when you grow up also and then it's like yana type also ልትቀይረው ትችላለህ when you design them you have to what combination of these four things or like ምንድነው included ማድረግ on my game to target a certain demographic so you can look at it I think from that perspective you're not a bad person if you hate Clash of Clans
okay
for the record I don't like it
I like it በጣም ገስቶች እኔ ጋር ሲመጡ እንዴ ነው ከኔ ሐሳብ ጋር okay do you think Ethiopia was like game make አድርገን money make ማድረግ ይችላል ይመስላል
and then no so it's already happening technically so it's like forget the full ቤቶች እና ነገር ተዋቸው think of like game zones PlayStation ቤቶች they're making money
right
now my game
but they're making money
they're making money
exactly.
so it's like it's all about the business model okay so
it's not about building it
it's not just about building it so it's like if I build a game but I'm in my bedroom and it's not out there that game is awesome for me and the moment you transition from doing it for yourself or like basically you're an artist or like you're expressing yourself through the game versus when you try to run a studio or almost like when you try to like become successful and make revenue through game dev you have to shift the way you think from for me or because it's cool to like what kind of players can I acquire or that was like where can I go master ይኖርባል ማለት ነው and so there is this maturity that I think is like we're growing up to it hopefully that we have to get into right it's like this is the same thing with when you're a software developer also you have personal projects also no some like I'm sure you have a feeling of some of your personal projects launch ቢያደርጉ ወይ why accept ቢያደርጋቸው like they can go big it's like it's different for everyone. True. But the mindset shift you need to have is don't do it because it's cool. I just like do it again. Understand that that's something cool. If you want to transition into like a business or like something investable, it actually needs to solve a problem or like needs to have users. Exactly. Like a product without users is just sad. It's not even a product anymore. Exactly. It's a cool side project. Which is fine. It's like that might get you hired or like you might learn something from it. A specific framework so that's fine. Great. At least you have to be honest with yourself. You have to like see beyond the product or see beyond the features, try to see the problems it might solve or like the people it might like የሚጠቀሙት አይነት ነገር ማለት ነው። sometimes I think በኮቪድ ጊዜ ራሱ I took an internship paid internship ገብቼ የሰራሁበት ቦታ ነበር ከሳን ERP so if you like Odoo ሲባል ስንጠቀም ከፈለክ like Odoo is an ERP Odoo dev yeah our cameraman is Odoo developer by the I was there for 4 years ago. I fucking hate it, man. I think it's easy. Technically, like the framework is easy, I mean, like dealing with the people is hard. But it's a nightmare. Young platform ይጠቀመው ነው ልክ አይደለም ነገር ከባድ ነው. I won't go that far. Not offensive, ግን ከባድ ነው ከነሱ ጋር ዲል ማለት ነው. It's like usually I think exams are like one of the things they taught me is the funny thing about implementing an ERP, it's almost any ERP system. Or do like an the top people love it. It's like when the executives like they get data, they can monitor the business, they can like order a bunch of things. Those platform everything is tracked, everything's traceable. So they love it. The people on the ground, like the experts on our if you train them enough, if you give them the specific framework, they can use it. It's fine. It's like just don't be an asshole about it. Like let us just if you make it usable, it makes sense. Like life actually doesn't make a lot of what usually happens is middle management. No, usually mess together. Because middle management, if they're good middle managers, if they're good managers, it's fine. Good. If they're like, say Odoo has like a finance feature, I don't know. በፒኤችዲ ያደገ አካውንታንት መቼም ሊጠቀምና አይፈልግም የሁሉ ፋይናንስ አትከንዱ ኤቭሪቲንግ ፒኤችዲ ከንዱ ማለት ነው ግን አንድ ከነሱ የሚፈልጉት ኖሌጅ ቤዝ መውጣት አይፈልግም ከዛ ደግሞ on the other side ደግሞ ኦዱ ላይ ከገባ ደግሞ is going to become traceable everything is traceable ግን እንትን ነው የሆነ like እነሱ ደግሞ they might not want it or like they might get bossed around or ነገር ግን አሁን ይሄንን like ኦዱን like ERP-ን ኢምፕሊመንት ታደርግላቸውና ትሬን ታደርጋቸው ምናምን ነገር if you don't understand like the psychology of the users just ተቃጠላለህ በቃ like ሲስተሙ ተጠቀም ሲጠቀማለሁ ከዛ 2 weeks later ምናምን ነገር ዳታ ስለማያስገብልኝ አልተጠቀምኩት ምናምን ነገር so 2 weeks ዳታ ቁጥር ነው ባክሎግ መብላት አለብህ ማለት ነው that's like another one I didn't have to deal with that like I was a developer like we had people to deal with the client every weekly meeting ላይ በቃ ጫሰው ነው የሚመጡት ማለት ነው like that's because you have to at least on some level understand your users and like that's like በዛ ነው ወደ እንትን ተምጥቶ ይችላል maybe you can solve it in a sense of like capacity ወደ ኦዱ bridge ተሰራላችሁ it might work who knows አይደለ then just because the system is perfect or like it's a function because Odoo is like 80% done 90% done customization ሰራለታለ ግን it's almost a complete platform ግን እሱን አቃሪፍ ፕላትፎርም ነው ብለህ ብታወርደው especially ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ doesn't work because the context is missing right so you have to understand that context it's like and then እህል ወይ like ግብርና ላይ የምትጠቀሙት ነገር አፕሊኬሽን ሰርተ ገበሬ ጋር ሄደህ ተጠቀምልኝ ስትለው እሱ ተቀጥቅጥ ነው ያለው it's pointless like you might have the most perfect app it's unusable exactly cuz በገበሬው ተቀጥቅጥ ነው ያለው አይደለም ያርግልታል ይላል እሱ like አርሶ ሸጦ ጥሩ ህይወት ነው መኖር ይፈልጋል ገበሬው he doesn't care about your app exactly like actually ችግሩን ካልፈታለ ወይ ደግሞ መጠቀም የሚችለው ነገር ካለ he doesn't care yeah exactly. So like any is like game ስትሰራ ወይ like business model ስትሰራ any business especially for software because like we tend to I don't know like lose ourselves in the code and the features and it's like reliability, right? Especially አሁን ደግሞ AI ከመጣ በኋላ ደግሞ በረናል የለንም አየር ላይ ነው ብሎችላችን የምንኖረው አይደል? That's not it. That's the execution layer. የሆነ
don't vote for the product.
Yeah. Don't get high on your own supply. Literally, it's like
that's what my first guest said. By the way, like as long as it makes money, just worry about the money part. Business money make እንዲያደርግ ብቻ ነው ፎከስ ማድረግ ያለብን። Don't fall for your product.
100%. Nothing else. Like it goes even beyond that, right? Like if you really care about your user, you can also do like the feasibility part of it, where like there are like a lot of ways to make let's say አንሽብር መስራት ከፈለክ 2,500 ብር የሚወጡ እቃዎች መሸጥ ትችላለህ። 1,000 ብር የሚወጣ እቃ መሸጥ ትችላለህ። 1,001 ብር የሚወጡ እቃዎች መሸጥ ትችላለህ። Right? Yeah. It really depends on your approach. If you want to go volume, አሁን ለምሳሌ መርካቶ ብትሄድ volume ነው። Exactly. A lot of stuff ይሸጣል እዛ አይደል? So it's a small margin on a lot of volume, you make a lot of money. ግን ደግሞ like የሆነ በጣም ኤክስፔንሲቭ ቴስት ያላቸው ሀብታሞች ለምን የምታረኩ ደግሞ ቮሊዩም ተሳነሳለህ ፕሮዳክት ምንም ፖሊሽ ታደርገዋለህ ከዛ ትንሽ በሰጥናቸው ነው ማለት ነው the same thing it's like it's more of like how do you evolve the product or the value or like the unique selling proposition to the customer to the user you want to acquire because then of course like if it's a business it needs to make money exactly good it's and then still አሁን ስለ ራሱ ሳስበው ራሱ like on some level it breaks my heart ግን if it's a business it's not necessarily about the tech exactly it's about the problem it solves and that the customer has the main thing is that yeah it's just like the tech is like the vehicle to deliver that value right more than the vehicle product like ship የምታረጋው ነገር ዩዘሮች ማለት ያደርጋሉ if you understand your users you can make a product for that ገባረለ ደገመ ወይ ኤግዛክትሊ ግን ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ እንዲህ በጌም ኢንዱስትሪ ሞር የራሳችንን ጌም ዴቨሎፕ እያደረግን ምናምን ማኒ ሜክ ለማድረግ ምንም የሚያስቆመን ይመስላል so ወደሱ ሳመጣለ I think it's like we went on a tangent so when a game development when a game industry concept ሳመጣለ ምን ይሆናል so there are like multitude of factors like first in terms like development competency ራሱ we don't have as much like there are some great individual developers out there then they're either like working for a company working for remote game development or as like I've had the privilege of like working with my previous boss Robert but that's like excellent abri sarat ማለት ነው I was like bros at this point he works for like remote game dev companies wow I was like and then I'm sure he can make like a very polished game if we have like the right game design direction on ነገር ወደሱ ልመጣ ነው like development talent የሆነ ያህል አለ ከዛ ግን ደግሞ የሆነ you have to capture like the interest of these kind of people as well ማለት so you have two choices like የሆነ I'm not going to hire him it's like የሆነ and it's weird doesn't like someone you hire you because it is like I can't afford it it's like our startup gonna good and then it's like on the other hand you have to also think about it's not just about development like talent you have to want to create a certain type of game like the Ethiopian market is well you can just go for the African market or the international market it's just like you have to understand like the competition is like very very intense so it's like development is one part ከዛ ግን ደግሞ like the business component አለ ቀደም I think finish mention አድርጌያለሁ where like you have to have the maturity on like the entire tangent was about we need to look at and care about our players as much or more than we care about the game and I think that maturity I think አሁን እየመጣ ነው a couple of studios are popping up ግን like we still have a little bit of work to get there ነገር ማለት ከዛ on the other side ደግሞ when you go to the distribution part the Ethiopian market is also dominated by like international games like the game zone business model ብታየው console games are very profitable አይደል ከዛ ግን console games ለኛ realistic አይደሉም because there is an upfront investment you have to buy a PS5 or like PS4 or Xbox now and that's not realistic for like the economy as the economy one now ቅድም the entire thing I was like የሆነ delivering value ነው ነገር ቢሰራ የነበረው አይደለ that's where the game zone owner came in when you're a game zone owner you realize there is a supply and demand gap there is a demand there is a supply ስለዚህ መሀል ላይ ያለው ጋፕ is affordability right ስለዚህ ኢንቨስት አድርግበታለህ ፔሳቸውን ትገዛለህ ከዛ በኋላ በሰመስተር አንድ ብር እያስከፈል ተጫውታቸዋለህ literally you make back your investment in a few months and then that's just a cash cow ከዛ በኋላ
yeah
and that's like it's a win-win
exactly
right it's like he's getting paid out of it it's a business for him yeah it's like he has upkeep የሆነ ቤት ላይ ከፍላል ማለት ነገር ኢምፕሎይ ሊከፍል ይችላል so it's like if you price it right እና አሪፍ ቦታ ከሆነ he makes a profit so that's a business ከዛ ደግሞ like ለልጆቹ ደግሞ they can't afford to buy a console but they can afford to play አንድ ብር ወይ ሁለት ብር ወይ ሶስት ብር በቀን to play like 30 minutes of their favorite game so it's a win-win ማለት ነው
exactly
right so when it comes to like our game or any kind of like in PC or mobile game እና ነገር ብትመጣ there's ያቺ ጋፕ አለች where like የሆነ ጌሞቹ በደንብ አልመጡም it's like polished የሆኑ ጌሞች they're being made and that's like we're trying to get them to the players on the other side demo there's a player base that already knows about games like loves games sort of western games so ግን ደግሞ እንትን ነው if it's good enough they'll play your game it's like እንትን ነው የሆነ there are some products where morality is attached or sometimes I see a lot of let's say like some products በኢትዮጵያ የተሰራ ስለሆነ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ይገዛል አይደለም that can be a selling point I'm not like that's bad እያልኩ አይደለም ግን especially for tech የሆነ there was like a bunch of attempts አይደለ like የኢትዮጵያ ስትሪሚንግ ፕላትፎርሞች የኢትዮጵያ ሙዚክ ስትሪሚንግ አለ I don't use them then I feel like they didn't go that far the reason they didn't go that far is if your customer can get the same thing from like an alternate free alternative like Spotify or YouTube or anything they're not going to use your product
exactly
like being an Ethiopian product is not enough you have to actually be good
you need to be good enough
yeah and that's like being good is like has a lot of definitions you have to be good in the sense of you have to connect something good in the player like like the game we are sort of about to finish up and like possibly release in the next couple of months is like the way we positioned Lomi was more of like a social impact and entertainment type of game which we started studio right so like this really the first game is like Lomi it's like a feminist type game and then no and we also got in the comments of like isn't this like just a cash grab or cash cow not really first you have to like make the game to understand it I would have had an easier life where I was just make songs I'm not trying to
come on
no I know like it's very difficult it's like it's a different type of difficulty exactly. Right good until you make a game and you give it to a player and the player feels something and loves it that cycle is like what we're going for right and now literally we went to like a certain type of event and now it's like one of our primary audiences are like girls women and now it's like stereotypically speaking like they're not that much of gamers a gamer ከሆኑ ደግሞ they don't like a shooting game Lomi is a shooting game so that's sort of an oxymoron where like you're making like a certain type of game for like the wrong audience and things like that right and game in each other they like the character how she looks they like the visuals because they're not that good at it they're like አንዱ let ሰው ልትገል ይችላል right because again the moment we implemented now we made them try the feature where they can name their exes like የኤክሳቸውን ስም አስገብተው የሰዎቹ ጭንቅላት ላይ ይመጣና they can kill their ex ማለት she went from 2 kills to 50 kills literally
like literally ያገኛቸው
yeah and it's like the point of that was not the point was never the shooting and I'm saying I play a shooter game because I love shooting she's playing a shooter game because it was not about the shooting part it's like it's more of like it's an emotional release
exactly
so that's what I mean by like understanding like what the player wants or almost like invoking an emotion in the player right
exactly
where like if you can keep that cycle going enough like if you could invoke that kind of emotion because that's what they do not just games, like all the gamified platforms and like that's what I mean. You you wake up in the morning, you open TikTok, and it makes you feel a certain way. Now TikTok knows from your past history to make you feel a certain way to keep you on the platform.
ለዛም ኤግዛክት ታይም ወራሽ ያቆይ
yeah it's like when you're feeling depressed ምናምን ነገር እኮ it's like take ተቆራረገች ምናምን it just makes you feel worse like it's like that loop just like keeps you like engaged on their platform and
more emotions
yeah and that's like it's really serious like we have a term for it like it's engagement engineering that's what the game design does
engagement engineering similar
yeah and then it's like I'm sure there's like alternate names for it it's like it's a specific it's almost like a specific field of study and then the reason like part of the reason we're like making games a bit difficult is like ቅድም ያልኩት አለ of like just loving your own game and like not maybe thinking about your player side right because then ደግሞ getting good at this design part is also like an art form in of itself and it doesn't need coding necessarily which is like also like a difficult thing to admit for like a person who coded games for 6 years again just because you coded it doesn't mean it's a good game. Exactly. You have to understand that aspect as well. Right? So when you come to the Ethiopian context, the games we make they have to be good enough, or they have to connect to the Ethiopian context, or they have to like fill some sort of void, or trigger some sort of emotion, like build a community around it. Because community is also a very really big thing. So it's like if you build a community around, or if you attach to a certain community, now you serve their wants or needs, you can get there. And that's like I think that's sort of the part we're lacking that we're trying to develop on, or we're trying to get there. Then that's where the mismatch is gonna and this is not to mention all the you can't really get a Play Store account or the more it's like it's not really a talent like a talent problem in that no way. Legal problem in that like those things are getting better. It's like it's easier to get into like game dev, like technically speaking, right? Can like making a game and then making a production game are like two different beasts. Another one. So you really have to collaborate with like different skill sets to like make that thing. On the person I started my like the studio with, or like the person I work with, he's really he codes, and he codes just enough to make the game. He's not a software developer. Okay. But like he's more of a 3D artist. He's a technical director. So he will make the design. He will make the art. He'll make the sound. Like he doesn't make the he knows how to use the sound, right? Now, if you take this guy and you give him a really competent engineer, like to implement the game like Arif Argo, now that combination will create a very, very good product. So that's like one team. Then you can add like also like a storyteller into it, like an audio engineer into it. No, another one. That's like that team also has to work with like the producers or like the marketing team. Oh, another one. That's like online like and actually if we deliver that, then you will have an actual like successful studio with actual revenue.
That's insane. Insane. Like to be honest, ይሄን ያክል complicated አድርጌ አላሰብኩም። It's በጣም vast thing, man. Yeah. Wow. Like እንደውም ሜንሽን ካረኩ አይቀር ሎሚ is your game እና የሆነ I think የሆነ ታለ እኛ የምንጫወተው ዴሞ ነገር ለቀህ ነበር።
Yeah, it's like the third demo is on its way for the first one. Yeah, also it's like public beta release ነበሩ.
Yeah. we're testing it ነበርና የሆነ to be honest ከሆነ ታበለ የሆነ ዩዘር ሪቴንሽኑም እያየው ነበር ትንሽ ነገር ስታከል ምን ያክል እየቆየ እንደነበረ
100% እንትን አለ it's like we have so the Unity engine ነበር የተሰራውና it's Unity has a great analytics platform like Unity analytics framework so you just like እሱን ኢንተግሬት አድርገው እና ነገር አስተካክዬ ነበር ቪዲዮ ያደረኩት and I can see it's like there's like a slight lag in the like data collection ነገር and I can see on how many people installed it. I think it's like we're sitting at 500 something, 600 something installed. For like
one of them.
Yeah, like thank you. For a game that I just published on my Meh channel, just on Telegram, those are very big numbers. Because last year we actually did a public beta, like another public beta release Play Store level. And technically that release has 400 stuff.
Wow.
And its own place, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That also goes to the concept of like, you know, like the community I wanted to reach for like test and the Telegram and so it made sense Telegram libraries with all the limitations Telegram has. So that in and of itself, I think it's like an organically number, like it's a number later so that in and of itself gave us enough data points of like something you're even I know so we moto since what's the average kill, how many daily average players do we have at some point like release so start we still have like 12 daily active users.
Wow.
And that's like no, I understand like from a design point of view what people like what players feel in I want them to feel that way. I think you know point you have to like another analytics platform those 12 people are playing your game. Why? Mm-hmm. You're like as soon as you understand the like your core audience of like that 12 people, then you can multiply it if you like build on it and like implement it properly. Because like the analytics were like very fascinating to see. I think we got on the first beta announcement on my channel, we like with 3.5k and another but I think with a post in that it got shared like 44 private shares. 40 public shares. Yes, like thank you very much. And that's crazy. It's like the way the community picked it up was also very crazy because I didn't have a lot of expectations for it as well.
like beta on ራሱ ምን ተመቸህ ታውቃለህ? there are የሆነ ኢንስታግራም ተጠቀም አይደለም የሚመጣው አይታጣቅም የሆኑ ጌሞች ትንሽ እንትን ያሳያሉ ቻሌንጂንግ ፓርቱን በጣም ቀላል ነገር ነው ሰው ያውቅ ይወድቀዋል ማለት ስለና ኢንስታል ታረገ
I was literally talking about this with my friend Tlantina. We are like, it's literally an ad strategy.
Exactly.
Right way to it's like you're in a simple game, out coffee for and then it creates a feeling inside you of like, I can beat them.
I can beat this.
There's like 2 games I installed just because.
እኔ ሰለችኝ ነው ያበሳጨኝ ይቀላል ነገር አሳይቶ they would fail it ምናምን የሚገርም ሲስተም like no means
marketing it works
በጣም የሚገርም even like simple marketing ግን በጣም so driver
100%
በጣም that's interesting ግን how many people work on Lomi
so then Nomi's history is like it's been a while so technically the first demo we made was like close to 3 years ago 2.5 3 years ago and now it's like Muqecha as a concept existed that we just didn't like exactly know our niche or what we wanted to go for then it was like a prototype made by Brook Kazagan was like we sort of made it developed it and then it's like it had a lot of iterations it had a lot of looks you know purposes in the sound it's like I only team but crystallize I think sometime last year ግን እሱ ከመጣ በኋላ ራሱ like it had to evolve so in terms of modeling አሁን ያለው እዚህ just ያደረገው team member ብል it's like I can count myself and maybe 4 people 3 to 4 people like that which is pretty good 5 people actually then like the thing about it was it's like everybody has jobs everybody supports themselves so the 5 people are not like simultaneously አልሰሩበትም ግን it's like when one አንድ ሰው ሰርቶ የሆነ ላይ ደርሷል ከዛ በኋላ someone picks up እንደዛ ያለ ነበር ይደርሱ ማለት and then it's like especially after we got the support we incorporated around ነገር it's like እነሱ ነገሮች but the momentum build up ማለት ጀምሯል because that's also part of the advantage of like having a team is you can like help each other out like if you really aligned if you really understand each other if you're having a tough time it's like you can take a break like that thing can stand it's like you know that's how you can like if you the difference between like a job and like having a job and having a business is if you have a business and if you walk away that business should survive you know even if you own the company and አንተ የምትሄድ ከሆነ company የሚዘጋ ከሆነ that's not a business that's a job and now like teams ነው like የሆነ አሪፍ understand የሚያደርገው or ደግሞ like you know properly incentivized properly funded or all those like combinations of things የሚያሟላ team ሲኖር at that point you can almost qualify to be like a business where like someone can take time off or like maybe not be dedicated as much and that's like you know slow behind also it's fine it's like you know sometimes slow is the fastest way to get to your destination it's like just sprint አድርገህ ስለሄድክበት ብቻ things might not align. Then it's like it depends. Yeah, it's like it's really case dependent, but
if you wanna go far, go together.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. Then እንዲህ ቢውልድ ስታደርጉት what was the highest part of the building ነው ሚ almost quit እንድታረግ ያሰብማ part ምርር ያደረገ part
ብሩክስ ስፓቲክ ስፓጌቲ ኮድ
ካየ ይከፋል
I'm saying this to his face, man. Solo was lasagna ኮድ ነው
okay
I don't know. It's, honestly, it's we're doing it on our own time. So you always get the idea of why am I doing this? I can just like do my job, get paid well, live my life. But you know, that's like no extra stress, no nothing. Because I can know when you actually have passion, it doesn't let you go.
Yeah.
So it's like you might leave it for like 2-3 weeks, a month, and then you get an idea of like I can put this into the game. I don't want to work on it. I really want to work on it. Like next thing you know, it's like you're pulling your hair out. Let me do my zero. So then I never like really thought of quitting. So like it was like I do all of this. Like if I have a job I'm doing, it's like for like a day job to support myself. Like I do it earnestly. It's not like I'm coming my job to like do my passion or like that. It's like your passion is only secondary because there's also like I have responsibilities, technically speaking, right? So you also have to be a little bit pragmatic. Like I have to be pragmatic to a certain extent because like the firstborn one of mine, there's like a certain responsibility you have. First of all, there's a certain target that you need to like hit. I think I moved out pretty early. September ላይ ግራጁዌት አድርጌ ዲሴምበር ላይ ስራ አግኝቼ ከዛ ጃንዋሪ ላይ ከቤት ወጥቻለሁ። እጄት
በጣም ነው እንደነበረ
there's a reason like ካከራየ ነገር ነበር ግን ግን በቃ እንትን ነው የሆነ out of necessity ነበር የወጣሁት. I'm thankful for it. Like a lot of the times when you encounter certain hardships in your life, it sucks. Like at the moment, just like why me? Yeah, like it builds characters. Like that's like you get a lot of character development from that, right? Because if you need to support yourself, and you're faced with like the reality of life, it doesn't mean like you should let go of your passion. And then you can change in a specific way. Like a very good example I have, like after that, like on one of the companies I work with, like a few years ago, like Muqecha Studios, yeah, like my mentor. No, he's my mentor. No, like one of the things they did is, he is, I think, one of like maybe like top level, I would say, like in terms of game design.
Wow.
Now it's like it's like they wanted to make games. Because I guess like especially we are sort of trying to figure it out. Imagine starting to do that 10 years back. 10 years back, they made a bunch of games. They worked with like Gotham Cities and then they really looked at the market and it's like, if we make a commercial game, it's not going to be successful. It's not anybody's fault. It's just like the market is not ready for it. We're not ready for it. The infrastructure is not ready for it. So at that point, you have to be pragmatic and pivot, right? So Toyota still does games, but it doesn't make games. It has evolved into like a game service provider, where like if you've been to concerts or like events, like Barmail Bittel, we've done a Rofran concert line up
okay.
People there while waiting for like the big show to like start or like one artist there's like a lot of downtime in concerts, right?
Exactly.
So it's like that specific niche. We thought was able to capture it and now we work with a lot of events. It's like thought as like a brand and as a business.
Yeah.
And that pivoting needs like a very pragmatic where like it's not it doesn't mean it's over just because like you want to do something in games, but the games are not successful. like who knows, like Muqecha can be like a game outsourcing company tomorrow, and as like to survive. So you need that level of pragmatism to keep it realistic. Or there was like if you're gonna also technically if you're gonna also make games, then now it makes a different type of game. Like we have specific clients that are like some NGOs or international organizations. Where like on the most recent project that I've seen about, it's like it's a physical game, and now I think the digital game is it's like it's a game about nutrition. Like high school ተማሪዎችን nutrition የሚያስተምር game ነው። ከዛ ግን yeah, because like when you're pragmatic you can shift the way you approach things ማለት ነው. So that game is not necessarily for commercially like ሌላው game play store ላይ ገብቶ compete እንዲያደርግ አይደለም. It's made to address a specific thing. And that's like there's I'll return from my tangent again. So there's this customer experience in Bandagaran where like there's a user, there's a client, and there's a beneficiary, right? Like the client is the person that pays for it, the user is the person that uses it, and the beneficiary is like benefiting very good. Now imagine like a samuna. It's just like your samuna mugazao mazana. ምታጥሞ ሰራተኛ ነው የሚጠቀሙት ቤተሰቡ ነው right? So it's like እነዚህ ነገሮች አንደርስታንድ ነገር ስከፍላቸው and then you can pivot ማለት ነው. So like on for this Gusha game, it's like there's an international organization that wanted to do this study, and now games like we pitched games to like as a vehicle for their research methodology. So we found our client, and then we found our user, which is like ተማሪዎች ናቸው, and then the beneficiaries are like both the users and the organization and the researchers for ናቸው ማለት ነው. And that's like users especially if they really use the concept they learn in the game, they will benefit. Right? Exactly. So in split scenario, you can like if your user is not gonna pay for it, you find someone to pay for it. That's how ads work. I don't know. Exactly. Like I was like YouTube live or almost like ad approach they make money. I don't know. Exactly. The app is free because like the advertisers pay for it. Exactly. So like the client is the advertiser, the user is like your actual user, and the beneficiaries are like both of them. So it's like you can split it that way, and you can. So free select account, they will see the ad. Yeah. Both ways. Yeah, and then it's like you can look at it from a negative point of view. If it goes too far, it becomes negative. It's like the product is free, you're the product. Exactly. If it's free, yeah. And then it's like it's a value exchange, it's a service exchange. Don't get me wrong, everything can be taken too far. Exactly. It's like you can be Zuckerberg for you can go that far again. When it really comes down to it, it's all about value, right? So that value exchange also matters. So it's like that's what we're trying to bring within the whatever game industry. Because I mean, the most like, hey, if this doesn't work out, whatever we're going to do next, we'll also have that at least incorporated. Perfect. So let's go to the last question about Lomi now. What is the በጣም ተማረህ ግን ፊክስ አድርገህ ሳቲስፋይድ ሆንክ በባክ Lomi ላይ I'm sure you have suffered way too long. And then like a significant part of it is like book ነበር የሰራው ከዛ ግን like the current version በደንብ መስራት እንጀምር thankfully we had that successful Gemini and Codex around there, so it's like we didn't have like a lot of trouble. It's more of I think like the thing we're dealing with now is like it's sort about like deployment, app signing, I think one of the things we dealt with with them is like let demo game is very different from like production grade code. So it's like technically Lomi is like being remade from the ground up, which is fine. Then it really speaks to how like you should do like a product where like when you set up like prototype, maybe they're just quick and dirty. Because again, if it's good enough, or then like that's like the problem you have with like tech companies. Sometimes it's like we make a prototype. The prototype is good enough, and now it already has 5,000 users. You don't want to lose your 5,000 users, so the prototype just becomes the product. Which is I would have loved to do. Don't get me wrong. Then it's like a bunch of Unity packages that advance the old demo itself. We tried fixing it. Again, it's like it was just too many issues, and Play Store like flag go for certain technical issues. So it's like we just had to take it down one. So like we didn't get to fix it necessarily. Then at least coming to the realization of like I need to take down this like release and then I have to remake it. You have to መጨከን because product ሰራው I think you can also understand it's like you become attached to it.
Exactly.
የሆነ just because you made a product and now you pushed it a while doesn't mean that product is infallible. It's like ችግር የለውም ማለት አይደለም. Sometimes you're too close to see the problem in it. And I think that's one of the hardest skills you have to swallow. Like pragmatic ስትሆን you have to view it as really what's the value I'm getting out of this versus how biased I am የሚለውን ነጥለ ማየት አለበለዚያ you like ቅድም እንዳለ you're getting high on your own supply በቃ በራስ የራስን ፕሮዳክት
በጣም ደግሞ ያታሽ ደግሞ ነው high በጣም
everybody gets attached especially if you like 6 or 8 or like ለሊት እንቅልፋት የሰራው ፕሮዳክት you're not letting it die it's like ሳንኮስ ፋላሲስ ትገባለህ that way exactly የፈለገው መጥቶ ቢሆን ዋይሲ ትገባለህ ትላለህ ገባለሁ ግን it's like yeah if you don't fix a certain part of it like sometimes it doesn't work out and you have to realize that.
Okay, so let's go to the more spicy topic, which is AI stuff. AI is literally everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Do you think like game development more powerful ያደረገው like game development AI how much contribute ያደረገ ነው ምን ያክል ሚስ ያደረገ
You're about to end my career. So I do have my opinion on AI, especially in it's like I also made another tool for like internally የምንጠቀመውም አለ so it's like I think በሎሚ ላይም በዛ ላይ ምናምን ነገር like it has certain qualities or like but both good and bad. So it's like let's speak about the good. So it speeds up execution.
Exactly.
So like a ridiculous amount. And now it's like it's like that's also in the bad column. There's like what makes it good is you can like in the past like 4-6 months but the realization of AI is especially like the coding agents and the harnesses managers that you can use. You can have a feature idea, brainstorm it, implement it, test it, and deploy it within 15 minutes.
Wow, that's super fast.
And then it's like as long as it's small. You're not gonna one shot AWS, right? Okay. Then that like the development cycle like በጣም shortened ሲሆን it's very very good for building for like products if you know especially if you know what you're doing and then prototype ለማድረግ especially because the main principle of prototype is to prototype really fast and then it's like if it doesn't work out you discard it and then you move on yeah it's like it's a proof of concept on like game dev line was like we have something called paper prototype like paper prototype this will exist is because like engine model code prototype ከምታደርገው you make the simpler version of the game ወረቀት ቆራርጠ የሳልክ ምናምን ነገር ትጫወታለህ if it's fun በወረቀት ስትጫወተው and then it's like that shit is fun በጊ like ኮድ ሲደረግ ማለት ነው it's the same concept ግን ያንን AI ያንን cost በጣም shrink ያደርግልሃል ማለት ነው where like you can like A/B test your idea really really fast and it's like if you've noticed like it's like Cloud or Codex app or two my Codex app sometimes gets like 4 or 5 updates a day and that's because like the development life cycle is so shortened it's like you develop something you ship it you find a problem you fix it you ship it so that speed that production really helps like into the market like output because again the really big problem with that is let me start from like especially the human problem. The human problem with that is it's addictive. And this is coming from a person that makes games. Because I know the feeling of like when I start a new game and it's like I play it a certain way, it gives me a certain type of like dopamine or feedback and I get like that should start getting addicted. I feel that like especially after I bought like a ChatGPT Plus account and I was like በደንብ መጠቀም ተጀመርኩ feed products እና ነገር then I really felt it of like that short cycle ያለ አይደለ that short cycle like to a certain extent also cheapens it in a sense of it used to take you a week to build the feature and ship it. So it really feels earned. Ahun it's like takes you 20 minutes.
Exactly.
TikTok እያየህ ነው እንደሚደል like የሆነ ነገር ሲልህ እንተፍልለታለህ ምናምን ነገር
yes or no
yeah I know or ደግሞ like እሱን ማድረግ ሲሰለችው full access ሰጠዋለህ ማለት ነው.
especially codex
ከደለተው ከሰራው ከዛ በቃ then your job is to becomes like finding its mistakes and testing it ምናምን ነገር ማለት ነው. which is also ራሱን የቻለ ስራ ነው. or ደግሞ if you're also lazy you just tell it to test itself.
So like usually use the voice abaka
I'm not touching that like I'm already far too gone good. So that's the problem with it of like it has this addictive quality. And that addictive quality is very very dangerous. It's like there's this really a term I'm sure you've heard it of like AI ecosystem. And now I'm like at this point sadly enough anyone who uses AI it's not a yes or no. It's more of a spectrum.
Exactly. No.
Everyone is on the spectrum. We're somewhere.
Exactly.
Good. The problem the main problem with AI psychosis is it's multifold. So on AIs are pretty what's the term like sycophantic. Meaning like they agree with you too much. You've heard the cases of people committing suicide because of AI. Or there's this guy he genuinely thought he solved like a math problem that existed for like 100 years. So like it's a really long time. Might not be 100 years, okay? Bro was convinced. And it's like he asked like ChatGPT, it's like are you like you are shy or is this like bro you're a genius like garami nagar ne sarrahu trust me this is so big Nobel Prize ተሸለመበታለህ. And then it's like cuz like the problem with that is like ego በደንብ ፕሮፋ አረገለት. Cuz the problem with that is at some point reality hits you like a train and then you have a literal psychotic breakdown. Of like the thing with the brain demo if you believe something it will either make it true or it will just fool you to think like it's true. And then because of that it's like it just damages your brain. You don't know what's real anymore at that point. That's like the real danger of it. Right. So that's like in one direction it's like almost like on a technical basis just because and that's like I also see it on other people, I also see it on myself or something. The way we talk about it sometimes also changes of like the work because again the main thing is just because something is cheap enough to build it on doesn't mean it needs to get built. Because it comes back to like the conversation about value of like is the feature I'm building actually solving a problem or like providing value. Limitation ስለተነሳ as long as you're like running through your fortune like burning thousands of dollars in credit and then it's really difficult to like control yourself from building stuff because and then like as positive and negative are like on me myself like personally speaking and like no shade I'm not a web dev. Okay. Specifically it's like I don't like it like
okay
blip argo ከፈለክ censor argo
okay no offense.
yeah it's an art it's not for me fuck that that's in Java ግን ጃቫ ሌላ ነው ሌላ ችግር ነው ያለኝ ከጃቫ ግን አሁን technically like one of the products I built for like internal use it's like it just uses I think Next.js የሚጠቀመው it's good because I don't touch the code. I don't want to touch the code. Exactly. Because on some level I am like doing a lot of quality assurance and control of it so that is just like you just like don't fly off the handle down. Good like it's a good thing where like I don't have the interest to learn the skill or I don't have the skill but I have a great like product idea so it's like I can bring that to market. The bad part is that the cost of building is low enough now I'm doing 5 products
At the same time.
Yeah. And now, like, I find it very hilarious when people are like, you're like software developers, your job is gonna be gone. Tell me a software developer outside of Silicon Valley, because like they're just going for the cash. Do you do less work or more work because of AI now? You do more.
Even more.
Exactly. And now, that's where like the dangers of falling to AI because it comes from too, where like because it's so addictive, you feel guilty for not like using your tokens or like building the next thing. And like people start feeling guilty because they're going to sleep.
Token
yeah. It's like like I haven't used I posted a meme on my channel. It's like and then I just found it funny. Like Lazaro was like if you haven't hit your cloud limit by lunch, you have wasted your morning. Claudius Maximus.
Claudius Maximus.
Yeah, and I was like, it's like it's funny because it's sad. It's sad that this is funny.
It's true though.
It's like when you think it's true, now that's becomes sad. Of like not using your tokens is not the KPI that we should go for. Or like building things for the sake of building things. Now cheapen ያደርጋል ቅድም እንዳልኩ ማለት ነው ገባለ በፊት የነበረው I'm not necessarily arguing that just because something is hard has value ያልኩ አይደለም ከዛ ግን ደግሞ at least one of the advantages of that is if it's hard then you really have to want it or like building a company is difficult it's really difficult like building a team is difficult like it's easier especially for a software developer it's easier to just work alone 100% ከዛ ግን like the lucky ones will hit a limit. Like you will hit a limit. Like, it's not just software, it's like animation, like ብዙ professionals ያለ. But like you will hit your limit, and then one of two things can happen. You can realize that I can't scale this by myself. And it's like you have to bring in other people, right? And now that realization is a big realization. Like and now at that point you'll be choosing the more difficult path. Again, the reward for the difficult path of like working with other people is going further of like achieving greater things. Or on the other side, I'll just like keep optimizing my performance or enhancing my performance or like posting around again, just like as a one-man machine made in which is fine. Like going for $1 billion IPO or trying to be a trainer is not everyone's bag. If you have enough and if you're satisfied with that, that's enough. ገባለ ግን በአንደኛው ብቻዬን ፓት ሄደ ከዛ ግን aspiring to build something that like a significant competency in builds it's also like an oxymoron because like you really have to be exceptional for that part which is like at least for myself and then ego it's really good like one of my best friends like yelling for and that's like on some level it's very true this is a friend he is the smartest programmer I've known in my entire life like bro could make anything I swear to God one and he used to say to us no matter how good you think you are there's a 10-year-old Norwegian kid who's better
exactly
so calm down
bro cargo reality
you're not that good like calm down so it's like it's not about you being good as well it's not about the product so it's like that thing has to have a purpose right so it's like እንደዛ ብለህ ራስህን constraint ካላረከው it's really difficult to adapt to the addictive tendencies of AI because sometimes like like I'm sure you've caught yourself it's like like I've caught myself as well where የሆነች በግ ለመስራት ትገባና and then now you have like a feature
አዲስ ፊቸር
ቻት አለን ምናምን ነገር like አዲስ ሪሊዝ ነው መጻፍ ትጀምራለህ you went into solve a bug ገባ አይደለ
you go beyond ከዛ በኋላ
100% and now it's like if it's making you more productive it's fine if you have that time to expend it's fine then I think the thing we have to be careful about is we have to draw the boundaries like lifeችን around your boundary draw ማድረግ አለብን and the really slippery slope is now imagine it's like someday if I'm going to be a dad and if I'm not doing a good job or if I'm being a hypocrite, and now if my kid has a ChatGPT like or similar አደለም account talks to ምናምን ነገር ማለት እና የሆነ ነገር የነገርኩት ወይ ስቆጣው ምናምን ነገር like እኮ እንደዛ አላለኝም like you're wrong ምናምን ነገር ይለኛል እና like what the fuck you do yeah how do you raise a kid now it's like it's talking to an all knowing box right you don't know everything
currently ራሱ እንደዛ ያን ነገሮች አሉ
yeah currently አለ it's like and we're like the ones that are like evolve እያደረገ የመጣው it's the same thing with like iPad kids or like iPad ከተፈጠረ በኋላ የተወለዱ ልጆች like the way they develop is different from the people before them አይደል like if imagine a person using it now and there are instances of this and there are a lot of apps if you use it for human things for example relationships it's like I'm like በራሴ example like I'm blessed enough that I've had a long-term relationship for like a long time. I'm married now, ምናምን ነገር ተመስገን
okay
but
okay I can see
you
that.
just noticed it
አሁን ሻይን አደረገብኝ
I know yeah ግን እንትን ነው imagine our anniversary is coming up and I just open ChatGPT and I just brainstorm a couple of ideas and I just do that she might be happy but it's not the same it's like it's genuinely not the same because like the main thing and a lot of people misunderstand miracles like some human experiences are valuable and real because they're difficult to do exactly just because I figured it out like using ChatGPT chat logaችንን ሰጥቼው psychometric profile setting ይስፋል ከዛ if I know the exact words I need to say to like have a good time now ነገር that's just like I think that you're not dating her. You're just a meat sack with a ChatGPT brain dating.
exactly.
It's not you.
So true.
And I don't know. You can convince yourself by saying I don't want to mess it up now. Mess it up. It's like it's part of the process.
Imperfect with perfection.
Yes, like the imperfection is the point.
The point, yeah.
You don't wanna. You think
you want cameraman ChatGPT አታብዛ
I didn't say anything okay it's not you want to seek perfection and perfection is a horizon it's like you seek it and you never achieve it again that's a wonderful pursuit because you also have to appreciate the imperfections as well እና like በጣም ብዙ ሰዎች ትሪክ የሚደረጉት አሁን ያዩት ያሉት is like it's like a cure for your imperfection ለራስህ ገባረለ እና that is like too difficult if we miss the point of being human I think at some point we're going to get into a point of no return and that's like that's the I don't know I feel like on some level like when these things start like stabilizing on a point like our kids or if it goes far enough our grandkids will have a better understanding of it because at that point it will be evolved enough to like be able to significantly different than how it's operating now good we have to like understand it's like it's a tool it's an algorithm it's a next word predictor right that can mimic like humanity or like mimic intelligence and like if you go in that direction you lose yourself so it's a great tool you can use it to you can use it to like do so many things it's like I think the best analogy is like it's like fire
yeah
fire makes so many good things
exactly
but you can also burn it good is like
real example
yeah good like the differences like when AI burns you don't even realize it
you don't even know it
yeah like ቀስቀሰት ብሎ ነው የሚገባል ማለት ነው እና like at that point it's too late yeah like it will be very difficult then you have to catch yourself ማለት ነው
exactly so to the point game በጣም addictive ነው ለማለት like what's the main thing like people get addicted to games right more like emotionally connect ያደረጉት ነው
so there are multiple points where like the player can get attached to the game of like የሆነ ቅድም ያልኩት mention ያደረኳቸው player archetypes አሉ right so sometimes you get attached to the story I was a history nerd when I was in high school so it's like I really loved Assassin's Creed because I like the mechanics I like the gameplay you know like I rarely played like a lot of them like አንድ ነው ሁለት ነው ያውቁት but I again like ሰባት የስምንት ጌሞች ታሪክ ነገር አለ I loved this because it was based on the story so that it really made me attached to the game so that's the story element one sometimes it's the character element especially with the new God of War games Kratos is like he has a big very very big part of that so it's like a character got attached to it for some people it's just like the way they hang out with people doing it or like you know sometimes someone can become an alcoholic because they spend a lot of time in bars to meet people there's just like an accidental addiction
ሌላ ጉዳይ ነው
so ከወደኛ ጋር ለመጫወት ጀምረና ከዛ የለህም የሆነ ዲስኮርድ ቻናሎች ላይ ምናምን ነገር ለከሰው ጋር የተሰራክርክ ነው ማለት so እንትን ነው those addiction like እንትን ነው like those connection points addiction አለ those connection points are different for like they're several ናቸው እና they're different for every player it crosses over to addiction where it starts like you know passing a certain limit so it's like you know that limit might be different for everyone especially with different era of your life
yeah
I was like if you're a guy with like a job and a side job and a company and a family you know 2 hours a day might be a lot
exactly
you know 2 hours a week ሊሆን ይችላል መጫወት የምትችለው ነገር if you're free relatively it's like if you're young maybe it's like you know a couple of hours a day it's like regular learning so ከዛም ባላንስ አድርገህ ልታየው ትችላለህ ግን የሆነ when it starts invading other parts of your life when it starts affecting other parts of your life or when it starts holding you back maybe at that point you start classifying it as addiction like the same thing like your like you start losing parts of yourself to it
exactly
and that's what addiction does and that's like usually addictions come from you're either escaping something in your life or you're escaping yourself right so
but እንደዛ ነገር ውስጥ
exactly ስለዚህ እንደን ነው at that point if this guy is not addicted to games he's going to get addicted to something else like addiction has its own psychology it's like I'm not a psychologist so like I'm not going to go deep into it good
it's crazy like some people spend like 10 years playing Minecraft honestly I never played it I don't even like it then I personally have played more than 7 years Clash of Clans no there is something about it some people like it and some people get way too attached like that's so fascinating
and I don't know sometimes there are certain mechanics you put in the game to make it more addictive as well so it's like forget games ቅድም የሰጠው እንትን አለ አይደል ቅድም የሰጠው ኤግዛምፕል አለ like the calculator in TikTok what do you think that makes TikTok addictive or like Instagram or like Facebook it's
every time you get new stuff like
there's the dopamine hit there's like novelty right because there's likes for people who want to chase like counters there are subscriber points like the counter they count or score chase ማድረግ የሚፈልጉ ሰዎች for the social people there's the comment section አይደለ if you want to be social you can send your friends ያን ነገር ከዛ ደግሞ sometimes the thing with TikTok ራሱ is it sort of lets your brain like turn off አይነት ነገር ማለት ነው so you might also be using it to escape something አይነት ነገር ማለት ነው
exactly
so it's like just game mode ብቻ አይደለም ግን there are like certain patterns that you use to keep a player engaged about it and then it's like you can like dumb it down or like an interaction out of you can go into a book when you're reading a book a really really good writer especially if it's fiction has a certain way of like using your attention to make notice about certain things and other things and that has its own technique and that's like that technique also applies in apps also applies in games where it makes you care about things it makes you like notice things or make you feel a certain way and that's like it's all well and dandy it's like for the purposes of entertainment or for the maybe the purposes of education like or serious games and now like those tools are good when they're used in a good way because then it's like when you pass the line and you at that point it's like when you intentionally try to make it a bit more addictive and it's like pull you in into the app. At that point it's like you start discussing about the morality, and that's like I don't have the moral high ground. I'm not going to tell you where the line is. That line is different for every person or for every company. And again, it's a tool that can be used both for good and for like evil. If you really think about it. Yeah.
Everything has like two sides of it.
Yeah, of course. And that's like it's not even black and white. It's more of like a spectrum. Like you shouldn't attach something and like interpret it as like malevolence or like as a bad thing necessarily just because it's interpreted like made in a certain way. And then they're not there might be a greedy CEO somewhere of course like getting money because he doesn't know you. You're just a number to him.
Of course.
It's like it's not about that. Those people might just be going after just maximizing their like profit, like keeping people engaged. This is the way to keep you engaged, so that's the method they use. It's really difficult to judge that person and before you become in his shoes. See like see if you have the character to choose a different path. It's like if you don't, you can't really have. You can criticize. Because again, like when you criticize እንደዚህ አይነት ነገሮች ደግሞ you have to also see it in yourself. You have to ask yourself of like would I do this actually? And it's like it comes back to the argument of like someone is not good because they can't do bad. Someone is good if they can do bad, but they choose not to. Exactly. Cousin, like the first guy, you don't know if he's like ሽጉጥ ሲሰራው ሰው ሊገል ይችላል። ሰው ያልገደለው ሽጉጥ ስለሌለው ሊሆን ይችላል። all his life. It's a choice. The choice matters. Like the choice is important. And before you make that choice, you can't fully judge a person. Exactly. It's like I'm sure there are like very contemptible, like intentionally good out there. Then at least the way I choose to think about it is I can't control them. I can't control the things that are like addictive in the world. And that's like this is coming from a guy that's like finish. If I play a game for above a certain amount of time, it's like and if it's good, I will trust me, nigga. I will get addicted to that shit. Good, at least it's better, especially than if I think of it not as they're making me addicted. Come in, I can control my own consumption. I can control the way I behave. So let it be addictive, because like addictive is a label. So it's more like technically the neutral term is engaging. So it's like it's very engaging. I choose if I have the mental force for it. I choose the level of engagement. So like notice that it's gonna take like more effort to come out. Who knows? So it's like good. It's like it's also like it's the same thing with the AI conversation as well, where like it's your choice.
Even like because you are related in a question, like what is the highest number you played a game? Like continuously, good.
Like the longest. I don't know. 5 hours, 6 hours.
Oh, that's
6 hours.
I expected like 16, 17 hours.
No, I'm trying to remember. Actually, okay, there was a couple of nights. I don't know. It's like especially like we had a phase where like we were playing Age of Empires 3. So like multiplayer mode we just like one game can take like 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It can even take like an hour and a half. And it's like you play 5 games, but that's like possible, almost has to 10 hours, man.
Even like PUBG design more. True players it's on 30 minutes band game.
Doesn't that day fix it out, especially if I'm having like a good luck and a good games like Zaga City I mean it's like sometimes
you get lost.
Like plan didn't know everything in moderation. It's like I was like if I'm not doing that every day, plus like it's not affecting like other parts of my life and my responsibilities and my job now. Like at that point, then you can lay off. Like sometimes it's okay for you to decompress. Then and then you have to know your limits and like your capabilities as well.
crazy question like በጣም ያስቅ question like ለምሳሌ Ethiopian government gave you 100 billion birr to build something ያምር ላይ in Ethiopia what will you do ድሮ ልጅ ያለ 100 ቢሊዮን ብር ቢኖር ምን ታረጋለህ fascinate
honestly I'll be honest with you I don't know like it's
you have something in mind you know
and it's like I can't even imagine or conceptualize that amount of money but like I was like getting a client that's like that pays you like 100 million birr that's something I can conceptualize like, I can sort of budget for it like
let's make it lower
yeah sure like I'll answer your question it's like I'm giving you context if I say weird shit then no it's like the biggest thing you can do like I don't have a specific thing in mind necessarily. Good, at least for the Ethiopian gaming market, like the one thing that can do good, is you can go for like a venture capital model where like what does a venture capital do? The whole reason a venture capital firm exists is there's a very rich guy, however made his money, it doesn't matter. Then he's scared. He's scared of going poor. Or he's scared of missing the next thing. So what he does is he gives like let's say $100 million to the venture capital. The venture capital invests in 20 startups. And now if that means venture capital firm ከሀያው አንዱ ዩኒኮርን ኮኖ ቢተኮስ they've made like 10x 20x of their investment ነገር ማለት ነው right? So it's more of like a numbers game right so you can go for that it's like you can go for a numbers game where you can experiment now you have like the latitude you can try crazy ideas you can like try crazy business models you can experiment and that's like and then no technically if you don't manage it enough having a lot of money is also a bad thing like it doesn't make you objective of like the experience you have when you live with your family versus when you move out different than living with your family is like it's basically having like $1 billion of like you feel like you always have safety net so when you try stuff sometimes you have assets when you're living alone and you're the only person that pays the bills can I do it I have to do it
exactly
so it's like at some point it might also be a crutch good at least it might give you if you manage it properly you can do the same thing Google does where like the interesting thing about Google is a while ago they killed Google podcast that's like I used to use that app that's why
Google kills a lot of stuff
and then let me explain the logic why they do that it's like they're not like bad people necessarily it's more of let's say Google podcast Google podcast I feel like this might be like a very let me underphrase like so that I don't underestimate it let's say Google podcast has like 10 million users that's good that's like 10 million users is any company in Ethiopia dreams of any startup in Silicon Valley dreams of 10 million users right but you have to also think about scale the scale which Google operates in it's so different as like the scale at which Google operates in it's so vastly big that 10 million users is nothing or like at least it's like the revenue that comes from 10 million users is nothing so it's like a product has to be above a certain level for it to be worth it for it to be worth the airtime and now so it's like a product that you think is perfect or like by your standards might just be by their standards you know my point so that's how you should look at it of like you're
they're experimenting ማለት ነው
yes and then no you usually monopolies are bad but sometimes they're good they're good in the sense of Google can have 100 projects well funded successful by our eyes because they do so much volume of experimentation they might find one like diamond in the rough that just like explodes and that's like that's like when used in a good context that's good when you flip it to the bad side of like sometimes the thing Amazon does is they have a store called Whole Foods in but supermarket it's a super like Walmart that's a chain and now what it does is it goes to a neighborhood, it opens a store, and then it lowers its prices. It's like it lowers its prices against the stores around it, right? Now the reason they do that is like it's competition. They're undercutting them, so people እነሱ ጋር እንዲመጡ ማለት ነው። እና ማርኬቱ ላይ ፕሬሸር አሳድረው ሌሎቹ ይዘጋሉ። At that point they are the only player. የዛ ጊዜ ፕራይሳቸውን መጨመር ይችላሉ ማለት ነው። So when you're a monopoly game is game. Like the Kindles, when they sell Kindles, they don't make a profit. Trust me. It's like all that experimentation falls on AWS ማለት ነው። AWS makes so much money. That's like 90% of their companies can lose money and they're fine.
Wow.
That's insane. So yeah, it's like Twitch doesn't make profit. FYI. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the reason Silicon Valley companies don't make profits is like it's another topic of conversation. Again, sometimes being a monopoly is good in the sense of you have the leverage to experiment and really make a great product and like have a lot of users and your standards are very high, or you can use it in a bad way and like you can like anti-competitive. There's literally a law because of this. Like maybe there is a law in America where like you can't sell something kasra just to outcompete the other person.
I didn't know that.
Because business ይገለዋል። It's like ኢኮሲስተሙ ነው የሚገለው። ገዢው ሾርት ተርም የሚጠቀምና ከዛም ሎንግ ተርም ይጎዳል ማለት ነው። So that's like consumer protection ማለት ነው exactly. So you can also balance it in that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested. So let's come to the entrepreneurship stuff.
Okay.
Then as a founder of studio stuff, how do you actually make money? The hardest question. I didn't ask about the amount of money, but
so I have a day job. You think I'm kidding? Let me properly answer the question. Maybe I can rephrase it in such a way. So I think the word entrepreneurship is a little bit overused. And then also like entrepreneurship is more of a mindset. And it's like I've never out loud or it's like in my mind also called myself an entrepreneur, which is like it has that feeling of yeah, honestly speaking it's like a title, or like when someone calls you like doctor what do you feel? It's like nigga, I'm like no. It's like that moment in a plane where like is there like a doctor on board? I'm a doctor in philosophy, but you can't cure a heart, nigga. You're not a doctor. Exactly. Good, it's like when it really comes down to it, it's like entrepreneurship is more of a mindset than it's like a title or like a field there. Yeah. And that mindset is more of actually being a problem solver, actually being like like value understanding merit. So it's like if you want the best education you can get about entrepreneurship, you will learn. You will learn how relationships work, how business is done, how transactions happen, the value of products, the scale at which you can gain the product. Entrepreneurship got popularized because like funding tech the whole Silicon Valley thing happened and people started trying to replicate that like Addis Ababa, and that's all well and dandy. Sometimes it works. It's a number skill. So like necessarily like it's a bad thing. You have to also understand that it's a mindset in the sense of I was like one of the data points that we've noticed, especially in the career like because we like consult business and like data on the international as a successful businessman or a successful entrepreneur usually succeeds on their fifth company. Like company succeeding. What that tells you is usually their first company doesn't work out.
Like no one talks about the failures.
Exactly. And then like it's almost like people think it's an overnight success thing, right? Exactly. Like before you were an overnight success, you have to put in like 10 years of work. yeah, hopefully it's much shorter. Like it was like I was like, but I'm evolving here, I guess, time. Then and then no, like you have to fail, like in order to like really understand that thing. And now you're on a. I'm not necessarily. I wouldn't describe myself of like on a. I've like failed enough, or like I found the secret formula, or like no, nigga, I haven't implemented monetization into my game yet. Nigga. Like you know, like I don't know, like, it has not made revenue, so it's like Lomi is like sustainable, or like we launched it and we made money. Now, like, we're running like on home streams and grant funding, technically speaking, for now, because we just got started. But the important thing to remember, and like what's really really important one, is uh, the mindset you need to have, especially like what AI will enable now, is fail fast. Iterate really fast. Like majority, like know the purpose. Like don't do it just because you can do it. And then almost like fail fast and like do it frequently. And that's like after a certain number of times, uh, and you start getting to that point where like it's not just about the domain knowledge. Again, it's like like running a business. It's not just about the technicality. Or like technical founders are like very popular around because again, it doesn't necessarily need. It helps. Don't get me wrong. Then you don't necessarily need to be a technical co-founder, like co-founder or founder around, like to be like a successful like entrepreneur. Right? Your biggest job as a businessman would be to like have the vision, so to understand your users, understand where the gap is that you can fill in the market, understand what kind of people you need for that. So it's like that whole orchestration layer. It's not easy. It's like it has a lot of responsibility. The highest accountability and right? So you don't necessarily just think of the successes of like CEO entrepreneur if that company does something wrong, and then everything and a lot of people don't think of that responsibility. ከገቡበት በኋላ ነው like you just wake up to it like oh no try being an entrepreneur የሆነ ቢሮክራቲክ የሆነ government ቢሮ ሄደ or something ነገር like not necessarily the government ቢሮ ባዶ ነው አይደለም ግን like try to do something difficult and then it will really show you like to yourself, like forget other people, to yourself, do I really want this ብለህ ራስን ጠይቅ ገባረለ ከዚህ ነው if you're an entrepreneur until you get a high paying job you were never an entrepreneur ገባረለ ግን look on the other side ደግሞ like you have responsibilities so you have a job but you still learn and grow ምናምን ነገር ደግሞ that's more of that like aligned in your mindset ይችላል so and a really good way of doing it. It's like, it depends on what you do. No? There are like different schools of thought. So it's like one school of thought can tell you burn the boats. If you give yourself no other choice than succeeding, your mind will be focused enough to succeed. Right? So it's like that's like one approach you can take. But sometimes you also be pragmatic. Just like I would do that if I was like 21 or like just freshly graduated from Nagar. I would do that. No, I'm not doing that now. Like I'm like I'm rent, I have taxes. Good and then no. Good on the other side, it's like I understand why that thing is important. Like on the other side, if you're smart about it, you can also play the long game. Playing the long game also like enables you to learn from small failures, like karate, or learn from others, or like really like spend enough time to like like make your community or make your network like slowly succeed in marriage. So it's like not necessarily one is right or one is wrong. Then like if you go about it in a good way and apply the context and apply the like all the value conversation we had earlier, then you can make a successful company, like build a successful company. It's like it's very very difficult, so it's not for everyone necessarily. Because again, if you can do it, it's like because it's so difficult also, it's also one of the most rewarding things. Wow, that's so interesting. I got one last question.
and we're gonna have some small fun questions. Otherwise, we're gonna end it. We're having way too much fun. No? So, what is the biggest mistake of owning a studio?
Biggest mistake.
Someone can make like biggest mistake.
I mean, I just talked it out. Don't own a studio. In this economy, like just do your job, man. Come on. And then like it always goes back to like the concept I talked about earlier of like if you're just thinking about your product, or like if you don't see the user, if you don't see the customer, you're not gonna make it. Like you can make it by accident, but like good luck replicating that. Because like seeing the customer also, it doesn't necessarily mean like you're a number to the CEO, that's not seeing the customer, right? It's like there's a process we call like personal mapping stuff like at some point. So like you have to find real people, like real users or real customers of your product, and understand their motivation, like understand their problems. Like it's going to be a slow manual process. You cannot delegate it to AI because you need to understand it. Now, like before you do that, I understand my users, right? So it's like it's not just a studio. For any business, it's the same thing. Exactly. Like one of the biggest thing I face is as a developer, personally, is I can build በጣም ጸዴ ነገሮች like I have ከመቶ ሰማንያ በላይ ሪፖ ማለት ነው ግን I mean, I used to think like building was the main thing. It wasn't. Like, selling it was the biggest thing. Marketing is the biggest thing. As a developer, we get so sucked into building stuff and forget about the marketing stuff. Even there are people in my time, but shit, money make me. There's a guy that sold the Eiffel Tower. Twice. Twice. Holy shit. Oh, that guy was a con man. Come on. But imagine if that guy sold your app. Wow. I would have been a millionaire. No, because it's like, there's an ethical conversation of like, when you sell something, when you say something, value delivers direct, don't count on the product. Like, like the product has to be good. Because again, we fall into the trap of like, we don't necessarily stop at good enough, especially when you're starting up. Like, if you have an established company and it's like you can afford to do it, make your product perfect. By all means, we love good products, and that's like sometimes customers become loyal to you because of your product. Because again, like, at least when you become pragmatic about it, try to do the least amount of work you can. That doesn't mean lazy. No, it's difficult to do the least amount of work you can. And it's like do just enough to launch it, and then find users, and then launch like go through the cycle, see where it breaks, go back to the beginning.
Like ለሁለተኛው ዙር ይሄኛው እንትን ሲቋረጥ ሰከንድ ታይም የመጀመሪያው መብራት ነበር፣ ሁለተኛው የስልኬ ባትሪ ነው። ኤኒዌይስ great things are difficult. Great things are difficult. So I have like quick fun questions here. As a game dev, these are study questions. Unity versus Unreal. Which one would you choose? So, you might like both, good?
It depends.
Okay.
So personally, I prefer Unity. Doesn't mean Unreal is bad. It's like no, it's like it's more of, especially for bigger games, it feels like it's more an industry standard. Because again, it's we're trying to go beyond this. Like it's like it stops being about the engine and starts being about the thing you can make with. And it's like the thing you can make with the most starts being about the user side. So I used to make fun of like good old developers a lot. I think I've traumatized a couple of people. I bullied a couple of people to change. I'm sorry. Good. I was like, I prefer Unity. I think Godot is coming up too. And there's like it's the difference between when it's an open source software. I think it takes a while to be production grade enough. I know studios use Godot for like big games as well. Like then they also have a lot to have to. They have to put like a significant amount of work to like modify the engine a little bit more. Like ለነሱ እንዲሆናቸው ነገር Unity and Unreal strengths is like they have so many industry built features or there was like mature systems for like they have their like awkwardness and like they shit things they do, but they're more industry grade in a sense of a lot of things you would want are there because that's like the purpose of an engine, like or like a framework design, like you don't code this from scratch. There are a bunch of libraries or a bunch of framework
slap.
Then if I had to choose, I'll choose Unity.
Okay. The second one is PC versus console.
PC all the way.
Really?
PC.
Like Windows PC or Mac? Which one would you prefer? Like,
no, for gaming it's Mac, of course. I don't know. Martin, Windows. I said Mac.
Mac. You say Mac. You tripped, man.
No. I've been using a Mac for like a kind of a bridge. So Mac is very good for work. If you do a certain other type of work, so Mac is a little bit. Mac is open. It's a bit more open. You have a bit more freedom. The philosophy differences is Apple really cares about the polishness of their products, and that's like the experience so it does a lot of hand holding. I don't like that. When I use anything, it's like it's as a game or a product or a PC or an operating system, I like I think Linux both Mac and Windows, like I like to be a power user, not like just again. Like Windows, if it's for gaming, it's like almost every game under the sun works on Windows, so you don't really have a choice there. Some good competition is coming up. On SteamOS is doing a lot of good things, and it's opening doors. Steam machine load. I know. Hopefully we can afford this soon. Again, the important thing being is like I think a console answer. I understand like the thing about consoles of like just works. You have exclusive libraries,
consoles like game graphics wise are
no, that's the thing I'm trying to say is like console is built for certain type of games, which is fine. I love them. I like it. If you don't want to spend a lot of time tinkering with it and installing drivers and like trying to make it work, console is perfect for you. It's a plug and play experience almost. Because I like to get my hands dirty, and that's like configure stuff, optimize stuff now, and that's why it's like PC like game is more.
You give it freedom.
Yeah, plus it was like like outside of a certain like exclusive content, you can almost play anything. It's like
okay. The second one is single player versus multiplayer games.
Now I'm a multiplayer junkie. I'm not gonna lie. The two games I like and I'm like half decent at. It's like like Rocket League and Apex, which is like both of them are multiplayer. Single player wise, it's been a while since I've played a single player game. I think the most recent one I'd say is Titanfall 2, which is like it also has a short campaign. I think it's like 4 hours, 5 hours, and it's also connected to the Apex Legends universe. Like that's also part of the reason I was interested in it. And that's a very unique shooter. It's like I've played a lot of single player campaigns, like shooter campaigns, and it's like it's very uniquely implemented. So it's like it's a lot of fun. With the time I have, instead of like instead of playing through a story and remembering it and so when I get in the game, I want to be someone's ass. It's like because I was like I want to get out. That's where I get my dopamine.
Okay, like the first one is, but actually relatable. I'm saying pixelized versus realistic games. Really, pixelized
doesn't really matter, honestly speaking. So like
realistic ones, I prefer that.
Sure. Say that after you play level.
Wow, it's still literally.
When the game is good, it doesn't matter almost. It's like it matters to the genre of the game. Good, it doesn't necessarily mean just because it's photorealistic, it's a better game. Like if the purpose of the game is to make you have fun, we can have fun. It comes down to the game being good, right? So I don't have a preference really. I was like the more recent ones, they're going more photorealistic. So we have more photorealistic games. It's like the big games kind of. Because I know indie is also going in the other direction. So it's like maybe I can change pixelated maybe long term into very stylized. So for example, now Nomi, it has a certain look. It's very stylized. It doesn't or we're not trying to make it look real. It was like it has its own art language, right? So in that sense, it's like stylized games are like very very fun in the sense of it's really an expression of the developer. Like it's a really unique category. Then let's see if my opinion holds up after GTA 6.
Okay.
Because that shit is like it looks real.
yeah. Also, I'm waiting for it. Of course, I might not afford it.
No, I can afford it. It's $100, man. Come on. It's like your doubles, like shit.
So the last one is God of War versus Elden Ring.
I don't really go to those. So I was like, what is the one to talk to them? I've played 10 minutes of Elden Ring. I died. I'm like, when I have time to God of War. I like the character, but it's like I've never gotten the chance to play it, so it's like I can't really choose, I guess.
Okay. So what is your favorite Ethiopian games? Like Ethiopia developer, your favorite one?
Okay. So
don't be biased.
I don't know. So first of all, I'd like to say I am contractually obligated to say it's Nomi. Good. I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like
you don't have too much. Maybe just one.
I don't like you painted me into a corner again. We have a lot of games in a sense of I was like I like it, but I haven't played it that much. Again, I like it for it's really well implemented. I think it's also like one of the few success stories we have because it went like somewhat international. It got acquired by like foreign publisher. So it's one of the few games we have that like actually went big. So like that's why I was like games is like a very
children games, you make children games, right? Children apps now more.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the genre. They have other games. It's like I think you might be confusing with something else. Other games I like is I can send you like like a couple of games for you to try. Like Game Jam is a game jam.
Okay.
And that's like the thing about game jams is like when it goes wrong, I was like it goes wrong because it's 48 hours. I don't know. Sometimes when some of the jammers make really inspired games, so like they're really good. No, it's like those are like also one of like a few of the games I like are also game jam games. Like you wanna remind me now, like
okay, no worries. The last question: your favorite indie game?
Define indie.
Like individual developer, like
yeah, it's like small developer, independent developer. Ooh, it's
Indian games. By the way, Indian games number
Nintendo. Nintendo is technically India.
Literally.
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's difficult. Like Hollow Knight is fun. I haven't finished it. Celeste is also fun. It's like, and then like they're both platformers. They're hard. Part of the reason I haven't finished them because I didn't have a lot of time.
Okay.
Like specifically indie games just question. I'm sure there are a couple of times. Nothing's coming to mind. Yeah, I feel like that's a horror.
Okay, after playing ብዙ ጌም ከተጫወትክ በኋላ የሆነ በጣም ማያስፈልግ ጌም ላይ ባይገባ የምትለው አይነት ነገር?
That's a very very difficult question because like and then no, it's difficult to isolate a specific thing about a game. I'm sure there are like a lot of bad games out there. Like for example, I was like there is a recent wave of games coming out of like because of AI. It's like reskinning a game or like making games like the bar is lower, right? So I just like just the soulless replication. So it's like it's not that fun. I know this game. I know the better game. I'll just go play the better game. And that's like they have an audience. I'm sure. Like they get a lot of like downloads and like revenue. Me personally, I don't like it that much. I'm not demanding complete originality from a game. Good number, when it's just a reskin or it's just a cheap knockoff, for me at least, it's like me as a gamer, that's something I don't like about like certain type of games I never about. You know, it's like at least when you if you're copying something, at least do it well. Go on, let's like you know, if it's like a very weak shadow of like the original CEO, it's sort of it becomes disappointing. That's
to be honest, in the Instagram አለ ያለውን ጌሞች I hate them. Like በቃ ከሆነ ሰዓት ደበሩኝ like እና በጣም of course you know endless የሆኑ ጌሞች ምናምን አሉ ግን በጣም boring almost በቀን ውስጥ መቶ ሌቭል ልትሄድ ትችላለህ.
Yeah, like hyper-casual games. It's like, you know, like they're fine. Yeah? There are certain hyper-casual games. Oh, actually, so like for the indie gamer also, maybe if I can, I don't know if they're indie. I think it's a small studio. I looked them up. Then there's a game called High Rise. It's a mobile game. I don't know if like App Store like Android land. High Rise game, but studio name was okay. It's a very very simple game where you have a certain grid. እና ብሎኮች እያስቀመጥ ከዛ ሰርተን ሲሚላር ከለር ያላቸው ብሎኮች ኮምባይን ያደርጋሉ they start forming into buildings and skyscraper ይሆናል የሆነ ፖይንት ላይ ኪንግ ኮንግ መጥቶ የሆነ ላይ ይሸራተትበታል ነው ነገር ግን like the point is trying to build as tall of buildings as possible ቦታው እስከሚሞላበት ድረስ ነገር ነውና it's such a simple mechanic and that's like I want you to differentiate simple from easy because like being simple is not being easy right like the idea is like simple and it's like making a simple idea implementable and fun is also very difficult. Yeah? It's so fun. It's so addictive. No, it's not addictive because it's trying to send you notifications or like microtransactions or like you know some dark pattern. The game is just good. The game is just simple, good, and it's very very well implemented. Now that's a game where you can feel the design is like very very well thought.
So maybe you are a game dev and there's another more small details no በጣም ታደርጋለህ
yeah I know yeah it's like you want to hell it throws you it's like you want to try watching ማስታወቂያ with like film የሚሰራ ጓደኛ ጋር ምናምን like you want to like ያችን እኮ እንደዚህ ይችላል or like me going to like a coffee shop you know someone me going to a coffee shop with like my wife now nigga it's like she knows about coffee she knows about like you know like your training rules and so on nigga so it's like she knows that they can do it better. So I think you know someone that choose to annoy her.
That's normal.
Yeah, and I don't care about coffee. It's like it doesn't even work like it is like you know it's a non professional thing no like ይችላል. Again the most like you can separate it in your mind you know like
yeah, more like expertise ሲኖርህ እንደዚህ disappoint ያደርጋል እንደዚህ ያለ ነገሮች
yeah and then no you have to empathize with them as well sometimes you have to empathize የምታደርገው ነው መሰለህ it's you should assign to ignorance and incompetence you shouldn't assign it to malevolence you know it's like the person the person might not be intending to do bad things or like make something bad that could generally be the best thing
yeah
ገባህ
ግን
ለአንተ like for your standards ማሽ ሊያደርግ ይችላል ግን የሆነ you shouldn't hate the guy you can do better ግን እንትን ነው የሆነ before you say that ask yourself like can you do better in the first place because a lot of people love criticizing without doing shit
yeah definitely
get your hands dirty and then you can talk
just don't judge
it's like you have no conception of the shit that guy went through
exactly
good that being said you are allowed to criticize some stuff when like what can obviously be better if it's not like that. Sometimes ignorance which is like most times it's fine sometimes
and the last thing advice now fun advice if you could speak to a 60 years old kid who really loves games who would like to go into game dev so like what would you advise him like he's a kid but he has ambitions ምን ልትለው ትችላለህ
make games
like ምን procedure ቢከተል
yeah no so እኔ መሰለህ it's like maybe it's like ትንሽ mention አድርጎ ይችላል ግን the most important thing and that's like the thing like it also took me a while to understand sometimes I forget even especially when you're starting out it doesn't matter what you do just do in the first place it's like when when I can give you this analogy of like when you learn chess, for example, it's like online it's like if you have a good coach, that coach is like you will understand chess of like how it moves, what the win condition and all that. Before the guy shows you tactics and openings and strategy and traps and gambits, you have to play. Just play. It might take you an hour for your first game, or like it might just suck. And then you shouldn't skip ahead, especially if your goal is to learn. And it's like I think because of AI, sometimes like we skip the learning. AI really steals our struggle.
Expectation I can hire.
Our expectation is just rude. Just by the virtue of the internet, our expectation is rude. It's like like see, in a vacuum when I was like in high school, I was sort of a perfectionist. Online content it's like it's really hard, like to overcoming yourself. It's not about you. It's like about the thing you're doing and you don't know what this one. And especially when you're learning, it steals your struggle in such a way that you think you build it. You think you understand the concepts behind it, but you don't. What you understand is the components and procedures to make the AI do it. So, and
that's also something, I think.
No, which is something, 100%. Then what's your goal? What's your goal in the sense of, are you trying to be a developer, like actually genuinely understand games, or are you just trying to publish and like make money? If you're just trying to publish and make money, go ahead, use the AI. Your problem is different. Like good luck like learning user acquisition, and I'm sure you can do it if you try hard. And that's a completely different problem set from acquiring a skill. But acquiring a skill in and of itself is it's a process, it's a struggle. And like sometimes when you don't pass through that struggle, your understanding of that specific thing, and that's like it doesn't necessarily have to be black and white. The reason I don't recommend use AI at least at first to like learn is you have to explicitly tell it to not solve it for you, or almost like you have to explicitly use it just for learning. Because like it's so easy to just slip and like just like what is that you made? You have to have that self-control. So if your goal is to learn, learning enough is fine. By the way, it's like you don't have to become an expert. No one becomes an expert when you learn. Just do, like make games release. Have that feedback. Go to events, find mentors. You wanna get that feedback, just like just in a vacuum. So it's like it's not good. Then you will know enough that at that point, when you tell the AI to do something, now you have the fundamentals, like principal understanding knowledge. You do have the vocabulary, and you have at least some knowledge that if you need to tinker with it, if you want to experiment, or if you want to tell the AI like a very specific part of it, you can, because now at least you have something in your mind. If you just want to like user acquisition, developer marketing, if you don't want to learn it, it's like you better have a lot of money. At that point, it's like just tell Fable, make a successful game studio, don't make mistakes with it, and then we'll see if it succeeds. The AI was not deterministic. It's like, am I right? Am I not right?
Sometimes it does something good, then plus ደግሞ expertise ሲኖር የምታውቀው የሆነ ቴስት ይኖራል ጥሩ
you have to go through some shit to have an opinion.
Exactly. ግን AI የሚሰራው ሁሉ ኦፒኒየን የሚሆን ከሆነ it's really bad, I guess.
የራሱን ኦፒኒየን ይጠቀማል። ከዛ ግን ደግሞ you have to remember opinion የለውም, so online ያገኘውን ኦፒኒየን ነው የሚጠቀመው. So just like that's a separate conversation in itself.
Yeah. Wow. We had so much fun. Since after the ራሱ ካሜራማን ሶስቴን የቆራረጥነው ብቻ way too much fun እና ነገር ለብሼ ነበር ግን መግባት የነበረብኝ
ችግር የለውም። የሚቀጥለው ላይ ታደርገዋለህ።
ኤፒሶድ 3 በሙቀጫ ስቱዲዮስ ስፖንሰር ያደረገ the third sponsor ይላል። God damn man, this is so awesome. I had so much fun. In fact, like in episode ደግሜ like ሶስቴ ምናምን ላይ ስላለ ሪሊዝ ስላደረገው ማለት ነው ተመስጬበት በጣም ከደሰትኩ በኋላ ፖስት ከቆየብኝ ነበር እያየሁት ነው ማለት ነው። So this was so much fun. I hope you guys learned በጣም way too much stuff ስለ ጌም እና ጌም ቁጭ ብሎ መቀጥቀጥ ብቻ እንዳልሆነና it's beyond ከዛ በላይ እንደሆነ
listen to your parents.
Yeah. I hope you understand that. We had so much fun with Major. እጅግ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ like እዚህ ድረስ አክብሮኝ ስቱዲዮአችን ድረስ በመምጣቱ። I hope you guys understand way beyond ከምታስቡ በላይ እና ከዚህ በላይ እናረዝምባችሁም እናመሰግናለን ጆንን። ይህን ፕሮግራማችንን በዚህ እናበቃለን። So see you on the next episode. Respect.
All right.
Thanks, my man.
Awesome.
This made my day, in fact. I didn't expect it.